Hello and welcome to the very first episode of The Off Angle. I'm your host, Spenny, and I'm joined by Jaden, Josh, and John. Little tongue twister there. And together we're The Off Angle. We're a Counterstrike podcast slash channel, and hence the name. Prepare to be enlightened by some very nuanced, some goofy, and some outrageous CS takes on the professional scene. Our content's mainly going to be centered around thoughts on current events, players, teams, tournaments, as well as Counter Strike trivia and game shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, etc. I'll introduce myself a little bit and then let everyone go around. So, as I said before, I'm Spenny or Spencer. I've been playing CS for about 9 or 10 years. My favorite team is and has always been Team Liquid, never waver. And I currently play on a main team with two of the other handsome fellas in this call. Now I'm going to send it over to Jay. Let's see what you
Uh,
got to say.
yeah, so my name is Jaden, also known as Jaden in game. Playing on a main team with Spencer and John, like he said. Been playing Counter Strike probably since I don't know, whenever I was 8 years old in Lebanon, internet cafes playing CS Source or whatever. It might have been 1.6. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. And yeah, I started playing seriously back in 2016. I want to say 2017. Me and John made our first team where we used to bash heads all the time. And my favorite team is simple. So with all that said, I'm gonna pass it on to John. We could get going here.
Hey, I'm John. I also go by Sinful in the server. I've been playing and watching Counter Strike since about 2015. Started off as like a big C9 fan, but when that team exploded, transitioned to Liquid and Astralis, and then that was a whole run. Still root for those two teams, never wavering after that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're from NA. Go ahead, Josh.
I'm from NA as well. What can I say? My name is Josh,
Borderline.
also known as.
Honorary.
I am, but whatever. Also known as Razbot, the gatekeeper of Faceit level 7s. Um, I am not a Faceit level 7 because I want. People made me come down here.
You're
My
doing the
favorite
scene a
team.
favor.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be too good for the scene. And my face, my. Dude, I fucked it up, bro. You cut me out and you.
Just keep going.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going, whatever. My favorite team is Team Liquid, but at the start when I started playing 2014, it was NIP, and yeah.
Okay, I like that. And now, just a quick preface before we hop into the first segment here. We know we're not professionals or talking
Well,
heads or
well.
anything of that nature. And yeah, we're just big fans of the game. We want to create some engaging content for fans alike. So that's the goal. That's the plan. Hope to bring that. First segment, we're going to talk about Rostermania, all the roster moves that just happened preceding the 2025 CS season. By now, I think it's pretty clear that everyone knows all the moves. Almost all of them are set in stone. So we have a couple, few, not prompts, superlatives that we created. Favorite roster move, least favorite roster move, most improved team, least impactful move, and our dream roster move going forward, like a realistic roster move that we'd really like to see happen. So to start off with favorite roster move, let's go to John. What's your favorite
Coming to
roster move
me.
in between
Uh
2024 and 2025 year?
yeah, so this last off season, I think it's a lot of people see it as a parallel move. I think it's actually a really big increase. I think ROPS vitality is huge. I think ROPS should fit into that team like an absolute puzzle piece and replace what Spinks does really well as allowing Flamesy to be a little more flexible on CT side and take in some rotating spots as ROPS takes over some anchor spots. And all in all, I think that could be a potential front runner going forward for tournaments.
No pushback from me. That's probably my top three as well.
I actually probably had that at number one or two. I figured someone was gonna say it, so I kind of shifted to a little bit more something like off the board. But I actually really like that move. I don't think there's anything wrong with that move. I also kind of think like given the circumstances with the vibes on that team, it's kind of the perfect fit for them. So yeah, I kind of agree with you. To be totally honest.
I guess I'm gonna be the odd one out. I believe that move was not the best move that could have been done. I believe Robs was sort of like the star player in FaZe, and going forward to Vitality, his role is gonna diminish, I guess, because I think the star player there is Saiwu for sure.
Right?
But
The
we'll
only
see.
the only pushback I'd have on that is like that is true, but the star player on Vitality is an opper, so he's not really taking. He's like an
He's not an
opper,
opper.
I guess. He is, but
He's
He's
he
taking
hybrid.
isn't.
up he's taking up odd roles, and I feel like
Oh,
just to add on to your point, um, he had more role clash on FaZe. I feel like now
I
than
agree
going
with.
to
I
Vitality.
agree. I think when Frozen came in, he kind of had way more pushback on some of his spots than he would with Zaiwu. I could see
I
him in
could see
Flames
that.
mesh, like kind of having to give and take a little bit, but first of all, he's used to it
I don't
because of what
know. I
happened on
think
FaZe. But I think he kind of fits in way better on Vitality.
I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I think yeah, and like you touched on before, the vibes are absolutely shot. So who better
I
to
guess,
get
yeah.
than Rops there? Like for
Yeah.
a realistic fit for one for Spinks.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
the only potential clash I see is with Apex and Rops. Like Rops has had Kerrigan as his leader for most of his career, and I know they lead in very different styles. Kerrigan allows his players to make a lot of plays, whereas Apex is very much micromanagey, very controlling on what's happening in the server. So apart from that, I think yeah, kind of to what I said earlier, it's one of the cleanest roster moves made this offseason, and I'm expecting a lot of positive results out of it.
Yeah.
Alright, Josh, since you were talking shit, what do you got, bro?
I'm not talking shit.
Let's hear your move,
Okay.
bro.
Okay, I was going with my favorite move, all right? It's not
Yeah.
because I'm biased, but I believe Jackie getting out of Liquid is a great move. Getting nerds just increases the firepower. Um, and I think he's gonna do a much better role than Jackie. The only issue I see is that um, I saw Jackie as a emotional pillar for Liquid, and since Nerds is coming in as a new player, they're not gonna have that. But I believe Twist has a great voice in the team, and he's gonna do a great job with him with Nerds.
Can I ask everybody a question? So, okay, I like that move. I think we can all agree it's a good move. Do you guys like that move for Nerds or because it's just no more Yikinder? Like, what is more important,
Mm-hmm.
bringing in Nerds to that roster or not having Yikinder?
A bit of both.
I think because okay, I'm a big fan of Nerds. I had him in my personal top 20, though it seems like HLTV disagreed with that. He's a great player. I just think that it's better that Yakinder's gone because what Yakinder did on that team is a lot different than what Nerds was doing on his previous rosters. Like my only worry is they're bringing in a third lurker essentially. Like yes, he has a good opening percentage, like he's good at getting opening picks, but it's not with the pack as an entry. It's usually on some isolated part of the map, working an opening. And that's something NAF does. That's something JKS does. So now we're at 3 of those guys. At some point, something's got to change. I know they're working with JKS as like an entry right now, trying to experiment with that. I'm excited to see what happens there, but I think it is Yakinder was a black hole at times on their T sides, dying early.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nerds is probably going to be able to get more kills out of that, but it's going to be a bit of a adjustment period for roles.
Play devil's advocate to that. I would say Yikinder was honestly a little overrated in Liquid because of the Herculean aggressiveness he had to commit on
Mm-hmm.
T sides because of the passive players he's behind. And that's my only concern with this move, that we're not going to have a true number one entry. And I don't want to turn this into another round of Liquid, like, excuses almost. Like,
Yeah.
if this roster doesn't pan out in like 4 months, and then the excuses will be, well, yeah, they didn't really fit role wise, even though you're
Well,
deciding to make this
they
move
they
now at the start
don't
of the
though.
year.
Like that's kind of why this move isn't at the top of my list. It's like at the end of the day, you still have NAF and JKS on the same team, and you're forcing JKS into a role on T side. He's at the very least, maybe he's comfortable with it. He's never done it at a high level, so we're seeing him.
He did do it when he was subbing for FaZe one time because he
Yeah,
subbed in
but
for
we need
Rain, and Rain
yeah,
was their space
but
taker there.
we need some sort of sample size subbing
No,
for
no,
a
no. I get it.
team.
I
No
get it. I get it.
expectations on that. Like you're just
But he has
playing,
won a tier
right?
1 trophy doing that. That's all I'm saying.
So did Stewie with G2 like 6 months ago. Would you want him on your team right now?
They did.
Probably
Okay, that
not.
phase roster did not have Monacy or Nico on it.
Right, but I'm just like the sample size is way too low, so like I could see
I
this
agree,
roster
yeah.
imploding. I don't think they're gonna. They're not
I don't
on
know
my
about
list.
imploding, but I
I
think they're definitely
do.
1 to 2 moves away, and that second move really depends on how Ultimate does.
I think
Oh,
it's
we'll
one
get
of the
into that later.
last. I think this is one of the last iterations of twist calling, though. If this doesn't work, I think you just
This
make the
has
move,
to
get an
work, or
aggressive
you, yeah.
entry, like you get an number one rifle, like and number one in rifler. If that doesn't work, we just call it twist. Go back. You're like one of the best aimers in the game. Let's just put
Mm-hmm.
you on a rifle with fucking nerds, whatever
Listen,
offer, probably ultimate still,
these
and
guys
now
are minus JKS plus Hooksy away from being top 5 consistently. That's all I'm saying. We can move on.
I
If that
digress.
happens, do
Jay,
you think Hooks is coming in or another Azure?
No, no,
No,
no. I
no,
think
no. I think they should. Like, think about it. They won't do it.
okay,
I
Jay,
also think Twist is just hard
who's
to
your
don't call it.
favorite?
I went off the board with this. I went Jota to Eternal Fire. I think just keep it really quick, dude. They just increase their firepower. I think the two biggest flaws of that team is their inconsistency, and Major at times just calls really, really poor T sides. Now that didn't get fixed, but just for the region they're in the scene, you're really not gonna replace Major. Like it's just not gonna happen. I don't think the core of that team wants that to happen. So what do? They make a change to upgrade some firepower. I don't know much about his game in all like fairness, but just from everything I've read and everything I've watched in clips, you're getting rid of some inconsistency. You're bringing in young, hungry firepower. Great move on my end. I think it's great. I think they're really close, so I like the move a lot.
Yeah, I back the move. If you're going like Turkish, it's probably the best upgrade, slam dunk move for them.
yeah, it's probably the only option they had. A good thing about this is it makes their roster younger.
Mm-hmm.
Zontaris is getting up there in age. I think so is Woxic. And even Calix, who they replace, he was pretty old.
I
Don't know
think
his
Alex was
exact
the
age.
clear weak spot though. Like
He
that
he
just
was,
I do
but
too, and like I
uh,
think, first of all, I think that's kind of hard to dispute. It's him or Major, and I don't think you're replacing Major.
you can't
And
drop
Never.
to
Major.
me, it's like you kind of want like, okay, when not that Nico wasn't hungry in G2, but you kind of seen Monacy come in and he pushes Nico a bit, and Nico like reignites this fire. You kind of hope he can do that for the core of this EF team. You don't know if it's gonna happen, but they're an older core. I mean, they still have the skill. They get a little bit more consistent. I like it. I think it's a good fucking move.
It is his first test in tier 1, so we'll see
yeah,
how he transitions, but I'm optimistic like you, bro. My favorite move is this one got announced today actually or yesterday, the bald-headed man heading to phase. Elige on the big stage, baby.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome. We've all been waiting for this ever since that complexity roster's inception almost, it seems like. And now he's gonna go. It's gonna clear up some of FaZe's roles. Frozen is gonna get his main lurker roles back.
Mm-hmm.
Elige is gonna be running in, trading Kerrigan every round. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And yeah, bro, if they don't see success, I'll be surprised. Honestly, I think this is just an awesome move for them.
yeah. This move to me, I have FaZe going one of two ways this upcoming season. They're either going to be like a top 2 team, or it's just not working.
Yeah.
And Elige is struggling to fit into European CS, struggling to fit in with Kerrigan. Maybe Kerrigan and Rain are also starting to struggle to get results. And all of a sudden, this team looks like it's about to implode. I hope that's not the case. I want FaZe to do well. I do like this roster on paper. I think their ceiling is the top major winners this season is on the board as far as I'm concerned. But I think the floor could get really ugly because Rops was a key part of this team for a long time. And Frozen is amazing, but I don't think he's going to be able to anchor as well as Rops did in a couple of those spots.
Don't forget, Ross
And
had a very underwhelming year last
So
year.
I
Apart
agree
from the
with
major,
I agree with the anchor portion of your statement, but I think this actually kind of raises the floor of phase. I think Alicia at his
Yes.
worst is a lot better than Rops at his worst. I think there was not even just days, but legit events and tournaments where Rops was literally a ghost, and I don't think that happens with Elige. It's gonna take him a while to get comfortable, especially moving to EU and all that. But I think like just as players, when you take both of their bottoms, Alicia's up here. So maybe helps elevate the floor a little bit, which is I think their biggest downfall is when they're playing bad, they're really, really bad. And then yeah, I mean at their peak, if they're playing good, they're like a 1 or 2 top team in the world. They're gonna be gross. So I really like this move.
I believe Elish going there is a great move as well as you guys. It was my top 2 move, honestly. Just raises everything on face. As you said, Jay, I think Elish didn't have a bad event, honestly. He was carrying complexity all around.
Yeah.
And I think that level of CS is not going to go down for him. He's so much into the game that his consistency is not going to go down for sure.
100%. All right, what do we got next?
All right, least favorite move, Josh. Who is your least favorite roster move?
I already said it, bro. I'm the other one out. I believe Rolf's going to Vitality is
That
gonna.
was your least
your
favorite out of
least
all the
favorite?
moves.
Yes. I
How
believe
much
Rolf's
Jesus.
has.
Hey, I got next.
I
Let me
think
go next.
okay.
Let me break the shit.
Let me finish. I think Rob's staying in face was the move, and Rain getting out of there was the move. I believe Rain is getting a little bit older. Yes, Rob's had a bad year overall, but at the end of it, it started getting better. And you know, him, Rain, and Brokey already knew each other for a long time. I don't know why they broke that, so that's why I'm saying that. Yeah.
That's just I don't even want to comment on it. I think that's
Crazy.
a horrible take.
That is
Okay,
Like
that's fine.
your
That's fine.
points make sense. The
So, no,
least
no. Okay, hold
favorite
on.
is
But
why.
what about for
So,
Vitality?
who would you have wanted instead to replace Spinks?
Instead of Spinks, that's a great question.
Because
Yeah, like-
that roster was done with Spinks. Spinks himself said that he wanted out. I think that was like around Cologne, which they
When
ended
was-
up winning. Funny enough,
When was Cologne? Like in the
Cologne?
middle
I
of the
think
year?
was July, or maybe August. And then after that, they won it, and the roster stuck together because he wanted minus Mezzi. Mezzi
Mhm.
became
I-
a
I-
permanent fixture instead of like a
remember that.
sub, not a sub,
temporary,
but like a
like
temporary
just
fix.
like a placeholder. Yeah.
And it seems like there was some out of server stuff between Spinks and either Apex or Flames, or I don't know
All
who,
of
to be
them. It
honest.
felt like all of them, but yeah.
Where
Mhm.
it was just an irreconcilable relationship. So he was gone regardless. So who do you want instead of him? Who do you see being better than Rops to fill that like spot?
Nobody. Sorry.
Maybe you're right. Nobody comes to my mind as of right now.
'Cause you got to think about it. Like Rops when he's on his game is an HLTV top 3 player.
I actually think Rops to Vitality might be the most like picture perfect plug and play.
That's kind of what I was getting
I
at.
think
Where it's like
it's
it's the
the
perfect puzzle piece. It just slots right in.
Like yeah,
and
I love that move. So
Okay, I'm gonna take my L here. I'm gonna say yes.
like
You guys
that.
are maybe right,
I like that.
but we'll see. I still believe that his role is the star role, and with Sawood, it's not
I
gonna
agree.
work.
No, I agree. But there's
the good thing
let's
is
not
we've
forget Spinks
seen-
was a star on this team in 2023 when they won
top
the major.
5, top 6, something like that.
Fourth, I
think-
think.
Josh, let me ask you a question. Is Nico a star? Was
Fourth or
Nico a
fifth.
star this past year?
No, it's the same as Robs. He started a year slow, and
But
became better.
you wouldn't consider him a star?
like a star player.
Yeah.
This year on G2, would you
In
consider
2024,
Nico a
was
star
Nico
player?
a star player?
I think overall, yes.
Okay, was Monacy?
Yeah, he was.
Hey,
like,
Rops
he
is
was
one
okay,
of
a
those
star.
guys level,
Okay, so
respectfully.
I just want to clarify, like star duos, an op and a rifle can exist. Okay, we can move on. That's good. That's all I want to see.
Uh-huh. They can start,
Alright.
but wasn't Rob? Okay, so Sai Wu is a hybrid player, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
their spots
Rob's a-
don't really coincide. Like
But
they're
Rops isn't in the pack. He's not going to be a pack rifler, right? He's going to be off doing his own thing, either making early contact or
Mhm.
playing off of the contact of the main pack, looking for openings and gaps. Like
Yes,
it's not
but-
like, if anything,
Okay.
Zywoo being such a threat should open up space for Rops to truly express his ability.
Are we talking T side here or CT side?
T side.
decent.
T side. Okay, I
CT
can see that
side,
happening.
I think
Zywoo's
CT
floating
side,
as
yeah,
an
I think CT side Rops isn't affected
Okay,
at all.
wasn't Robs being a hybrid player at the end of the year as well? I saw him
picking up
up.
the op as a secondary op.
Yeah,
Yeah, like a couple maps, but like secondary opping isn't really. I mean, with Train in the meta now, secondary opping is probably going to pick up.
We might see a
But
third op.
who else would you want as the secondary on Vitality?
No, that would be Robs for sure.
Right? If anything,
Yeah.
it helps the case.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who's next?
I can go.
Yeah,
So
Sven.
this is like a two-part roster move. It happened just before the major, one of the pieces, and then the other piece
Okay.
fell into place during the offseason. But minus U-Jerks, minus Erados, plus Agile, and plus Sheer. What are we doing here? You're a Portuguese team in Europe. It seems like you guys don't want to pull in Brazilian talent, and you essentially let go your version of Que Serrado. Why? Like, this is a
Yeah.
huge step backward for the team. They have a bunch of VRS points that they're holding on to from their success with both Ujerks and Erados. And I'm not like particularly looking forward to what this team is going to do at Bounty, for example. Like, I think if anything, they might be a good team for someone to snipe and try and get increase their bounty.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
agree.
It's such a mind blowing. Like it. Any way you look at it, from a business standpoint, from an in-game standpoint, even from an out-of-game standpoint, it literally doesn't make sense. So, the only reason I didn't really have this on my radar for mine is like it's a little bit lower than, like, I kind of went more in the top 5 teams just because there's some big ones, but horrible decision. Like, just bad decision making all around.
Yeah.
Spenny, sorry, what were you saying?
Is it known if they got a bag? Like, were they able to sell the players at least on
don't
From what
contract?
I understood, Erados was like both of their contracts expired December, and they were
Mhm.
unable to reach an agreement for an extension, so they dropped Erados major, they dropped Ujerks.
Wow.
They're
Okay.
both gone. Yeah, they have no team.
both
I don't
gone,
think you're
no
getting
money,
pushed. I
not
don't think
even
you're
money
getting
coming in.
pushed back on that.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. I'll take this over. I think this is gonna go again kind of flawlessly. Tessus, Dexter, and Kixon to Falcons is just mind blowing considering the expectations a year ago, and then put on hold, and then 6 months ago, and then K leaks Nico's going, and that was probably gonna be my favorite roster move. And then you just look at who they surrounded him with, and I get why, but it's just so disappointing. It's so sad. There was so much potential to build a super team that probably wouldn't have worked out anyways, but it would have been so much fun to watch. And we don't get Simple. We don't get Monacy. We get rid of Snappy
don't get
before Nico
Yimmy.
gets there anyways. We don't get Yimfat. It's just all, it was so, like, the only word I think of is sad. It actually made me really mad because there was
I
so
have
much
a quick
potential to
question.
build a fun team. Go ahead.
How would the roster move that they ended up making, how does that compare to them picking up Jambo and Ujerks? Because that was on the rumor mill for a bit.
I would rather have Jambo and Ujerks.
Oh, I disagree.
I think
I think
Definitely not. Definitely.
funny
not.
enough, I have Falcons as my most improved team from like pre
No, so
roster
they're,
move to
yes,
post.
they're, well, that's just because they have Nico, and I get this
It's
trio
not
makes
just Nico.
sense.
Like, I think like the Dexter, Tessus, Kierzan core is just stronger than the Ents core.
Here's the
that they
problem
had
with that
initially brought
core
over.
is this Tessus, Dexter, and Kixon core is the scene. Everybody knows this is a placeholder. This won't be a team in 6 months. For that reason alone, it's my least favorite because it's not a roster move. It's like a, hey, come make some money for 6
It's a
months.
band-aid.
And then we're gonna rip the band-aid off, and we're gonna get 3 new players or 2 new players. At least with the U-Jerks edition and Jambo, it could have been like they could have shown out. Maybe you keep one of them long term, you fill in the last 2 spots, and you have a roster. This doesn't happen here. This is just like, hey, you're playing for 6 months, then you're out.
They just wouldn't have been invited to anything. They would have had no.
They would have got
point
wildcard
moving over.
invites.
Wildcard, sure, but in the actual rankings, like to make the major and stuff, they would have such little points compared to what they did now.
Compared to what they did now, they would definitely have less. But I
They'd
think
have to
if
show
you
up
have a
at
team with
Launders Land.
Nico, Magisk, Jambo, and Ujerks, like had they gone with a roster like that, I don't know who their 5th would have been. But that's a team that's getting wildcard invites, and I think can perform well enough in tournaments to get enough VRS to
I agree.
make, what is it, like top 28 in Europe they have to be? Like, I think that's a doable thing. It's not like Nip who has to dig through the trenches just to get lucky.
I also believe that them not using Sampayas was a bummer move because he was a really consistent player, and they
Yeah.
kicked him out for
Had a bad
a
year.
stun move for simple. But
I
I
don't think
believe
it was
some
a
players are
stunt
simple.
move, but yeah, like if you're not gonna
It
move
was
forward
for
with
clout.
simple, you bring it back,
It-
100%.
Yeah, it felt.
But
for
they didn't
clout,
do it.
yeah. No, they ended up
I
going
agree,
with
yeah.
Dexter, who was supposed to get dropped from Heroic. Initially, Heroic was like minus Dexter, and then
Dexter.
Nerds ended up going to Liquid, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like the same thing that happened in Ents, where like Nerds went to a different team, and the whole core just went to Falcons. Just like, okay, I
Although
guess
I
we're
will
running that back
say,
Poor
again.
guy. He's
out
up
of
now,
the
though.
3 additions, I kind of like. I'm down to see Dexter play with Nico. I kind of like it. I think there's a high
You think Nico
skill.
likes he's playing? You think Nico likes that he's playing with Dexter?
Probably not,
Bro,
but
so-
I think the ceiling there is okay. It's just their
Give me that really
force.
good Russian opera that I
All
like.
right, let's move on.
He's young.
Like
Yeah,
least
we got
favorite
Modesty
move.
at home.
Legit, like yeah, horrible.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
go
yeah.
quickly through my least improved and then hop into my my least favorite and then most improved. So my least favorite is VP. I'm glad we all had different ones, but really just not a big fan of the electronic calling. I feel like we've seen this before, and they're also just gonna ruin another one of their promising young rifles. Like
Yeah.
one of Flit, Flamis, or Fame is gonna have to go onto the anchored or passive roles, and that's just not what we've seen from them, and what they thrive in. So I feel like in 4 to 5 months, we're just gonna see the worst performing player in those passive roles just get dropped for another player, and it's just like, there we go, Electronics VP strikes again.
Yeah.
My most improved team is NIP, actually.
Ooh.
Ninjas in pajamas, bro. Going from that squad that won't be named that they just had
Who are they, Voldemort?
to
Felt
keeping
like
the
it.
one shining light, the actual promising player. Isaac's cool too, but I don't think he has as much potential as Wrinkle. So you're keeping Wrinkle, who's showed flashes as an opper, and you're bringing in a good, pretty experienced support system around him with Snappy and Shush. And then Arizdosh and Ujix, just again, I think Ujix is really good. He might be the star player on this team. So I was just a huge fan of this roster overhaul. Nip seems to finally getting serious about CS again. Maybe this roster I think has potential to crack like top 15, maybe top 10 at one point in the year
I doubt that, honestly.
than where they were before.
I think you're pushing it a little bit, but like the thing with me is, do I like the move? Yes. Are they improved? Yes. Are they the most improved team? I don't know. Do they go from 22nd or wherever they are to 15th? Like, is that most improved?
Brother, they are not even in top 40, I don't think.
It's that bad, eh?
It's that bad.
Bro,
So
they
here's the
were
thing, right?
Okay,
This
so
NIP team is at the rock bottom of rock bottom. And the fact that they essentially did a full clean out, other than Wrinkle, who was the one shining spot
Yeah.
on that roster as of late. I agree with the methodology. I like everything they did. I don't think it's enough to matter this season, but next season, when like they'll actually have an accumulation of VRS points and they'll be able to potentially attend top tier events,
yeah.
it's going to be really cool. It's going to be
Would
really
you say
exciting.
they're still a move or two away from breaking into the top 15 at least?
we'll
top
see.
10?
We'll see.
I'm
how
not a big fan
Ujix
of Snappy.
plays.
This has been something that we've talked about, obviously, before starting this thing up. I think he's a bit of a one-hit wonder with that Ents roster, and this is going to be the make or break point on if he can do it again and bring another team to tier 1. So I think that might be a bit of a chokehold for them, or like a ceiling for them, is how well Snappy can call around this team.
Okay,
That's valid.
let's hear your most improved team, John.
Me? I already said it. It was Falcons.
Oh, true.
This was a team that, again, they were also like rock bottom, a broken roster. Nothing was working. And they brought in the core of a top 8 team at the major, plus Nico, plus
Yeah.
Majisk. Like, it's going to be
Pretty
a good
sound.
team. You're essentially going from a team that failed to make the major, couldn't break into the top 20 consistently, to an already top 8 team. So,
Yeah, that's valid. My most improved team really quickly. Let me just go back to my notes really quickly here. I think we talked about it at length. It's Vitality. I think they're going from a team that could make finals and maybe win an event. To, in my opinion, they're probably going to be the best team in the world for the next. I think they're going to start hot and they're probably going to ride it out. I could see them winning the next major. I could see them winning multiple events this year.
I think they're in that discussion. Yeah.
I think it's them, maybe Navi, who I'll touch on later, or something else, and a couple other teams. But I think their floor has, again, I keep using that word, but like their floor has been raised so much. I even think their ceiling's been raised. I think if they're clicking at the top of their game, they're easily the best team on paper. So, Josh, you gave me a look.
Josh?
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say anything about that. I'm just gonna say my improved
Okay,
team.
that's
which
fine. That's
is,
fine. We got to rip through these.
I think it's gonna be FaZe. Them getting a leash is such a great move, and they're gonna be a contender as well.
Were they not already a contender though?
To be fair, not really.
Major finalists.
Okay, before that,
2 major finals.
Double
with
major
10
finals
major
on the
shit
season.
in between.
Yeah, like they had a lull. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, but they're gonna be from. I think they're gonna be consistent number one.
They're gonna be
or two.
rejuvenated,
Okay,
bro. They're gonna be revitalized.
the
Exactly.
problem with FaZe
Exactly.
is
All
their
headed
little
energy.
lull is like, hey, we don't make playoffs.
No, they were making playoffs. They were getting bounced in like first round.
Yeah, they're making
That's
like
just-
top 8. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
be making like at
think
least,
yeah.
at the very least, top 4 or higher for sure.
On paper,
Yeah,
the rules should fit way nicer now. So
I agree.
Mhm.
I agree. What do we got next?
All right, we got least impactful move.
Who's
Jay,
taking this
why don't
one?
you kick it
Yeah,
off?
we kick it off. I like the move, but I don't. It's heavy out to G2. I think for that move to make sense, they needed to do more with the roster, and they just didn't. Like, they get rid of Nico, who's their second best player by a pretty wide margin than Mobs, who I think is going to play a lot better this year, just given the expanded opportunity and role. But I think if you're going to bring in Heavy God, you either have to get a new identity for the team and get rid of. I think Snacks shouldn't be calling for this team. And then I think if you're going to do that, you make a 2-person move, I guess 3 people at this point, and you try and upgrade on Hunter. Like, I like Hunter. I could see him working with this core, but at the very least, I think Snacks had to go for this to work.
I agree that more should have been done with this G2 roster.
Mhm.
There's a lot at stake with this G2 roster. You essentially have to entice Monacy to stay.
It's not a great
And-
pitch. I'm not gonna lie.
Right now, the pitch they threw out is not good. To be fair, they tried for Yimmy, right? They tried to
But you
bring
need to be able to
in
pivot. You can't just say we tried.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't think making like 3 moves. I personally see this team being the first to make a roster move this season. I think if things stumble a bit, minus Hunter plus Spinks is locked and loaded in the barrel. And that's going to keep your VRS points together. That's going to allow you to bring in some firepower that's needed, as well as just a strong lurker role position and player. And now you can point to Monacy and say, hey, look, we brought in someone who was like a top 5 HLTV player who's won a major. This guy knows what's good. We can surround you with talent. It's something we can do and we
Yeah.
will do. And if they do make that move now, it means they can make another 2 moves next offseason where they can really try and sell Monacy on like, what IGL do you want? What coach do you want?
Yeah.
And you just give them you're in control of the team as the star player talk, which is very common, at least in franchise sports. So yeah, that's something that I would at least add to that.
I agree. I guess to me, it's just like this is the only team I think that was in the top end of the season in the top 5 that undoubtedly got worse. I think it's always risky to go into in traditional sports a contract year with your best player and your pitch is next offseason we got you.
Yeah.
I might say see you later. I might not be here next
Yeah.
offseason. So it's just like their
I
team
have a
gets
question
worse.
here.
Go ahead.
Do we know what's gonna happen with Mouse? Has there been leaks about
Mouse?
With
We know
Mouse,
not, like they're gonna stay together as of right
They're
now.
yeah.
in
I
Yeah.
think
6
they want to ride the
months,
contract. So
some contracts are gonna be.
my
up, so-
understanding is Yimmy's contract is due after the Austin major.
it? Yeah, so
Yeah.
like in 6 months, right?
Yep.
Around that
Yeah.
time.
how about
Mhm.
that?
Do we know what's gonna happen with Suhei? Suhei?
Shui.
Shoot.
Shui.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know what his
Um,
contract. I can
I
maybe
think
do
he's
a quick look,
always a
but-
hot target for roster.
Because I
moves.
think if we do G2 minus snacks and put Shuhei there, is gonna be a really good
That would
team.
be ideal. Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yes. And then
I-
Jim
I
Fat goes
would
to
like
what,
to see that.
Falcons?
Well, the thing is, Yimmy only wanted to go to Falcons if
With
Modesty
Modesty.
went.
Yeah.
So
So,
I'm
the idea would
thinking
honestly be
You
you
would
get
get rid of Hunter
Shuhei
minus
and
Hunter,
Yimmy.
minus
Yeah, to
and then you'd
G2.
bring
Yeah.
Shuhei and Yimfat, and then I'm on board.
and then you have Yimmy and Heavy as your anchors.
Yeah.
You have Malbs as your rotator. You have Shue as your rotator. No, that clicks.
That would be good. That would be
Pretty
a
good
good move.
fucking-
Yeah.
Like I said,
squad.
though, you're kind of risking this on, like, hey, Modesty
Oh,
might be
it's
here
a
in
risk.
6 months.
Yeah,
There's a
Falcons.
good chance that Falcons, with all the money they can pay for buyouts, ends up getting both Mondesi and Yimmy for no buyout,
Mm-hmm.
which is insane.
Please don't let that happen. All right. Who's John? You want to go?
Least impactful move.
Yeah.
I'm a bit in my bag with this one. Payne plus Davides.
Pain
I'm
hate is
like-
crazy.
Pardon?
The pain hate is crazy, bro. We gotta be uplifting these brothers.
Nah. So here's the thing, right? It's least impactful move. I think this is a pretty good pickup. I looked into Davides a bit. He was the best performing player on a Red Canids that had Cold Zero on it. So that's at least something. I think this team is not that much better than it is after the roster move. I don't think it's much worse either. I think it didn't like the needle didn't move in either direction. It's a new player, it's a new phase. Maybe it'll click better. I hope it does. I'm a big fan of this Pain team, sorry. And Biguzera's project, but I don't know. It just feels like a very lateral move that isn't really going to
It's
change
just
much.
so off the cuff. I didn't even know this move happened. Like, that's just such a random out of left field. It's least impactful because it's fucking Pain, dude. Like, yeah. I mean, I get your point. I actually, like, don't hate the move, but it's just, like, not even on my radar. So good for you for pulling that out of nowhere, but
All right.
I was thinking maybe we go a little bit more, like, okay, you know what? I'll tip the cap.
Hey, if you're in the top 20 on HLTV, I think
That's
it's worth
true.
mentioning.
That's valid. Anyways, you guys keep going. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Something interesting that happens here is that whenever a Brazilian team brings in like someone else from Latin America,
Yeah.
they usually don't do well,
Mhm.
which is interesting as well. I agree with you here, John.
Yeah, they don't have a great hit rate, do they? I remember when Try, he was playing. What was he playing? A short name Furia, maybe. The
I think it
operator?
may have been Furia. I would have to pull that up.
Yeah, and he was like the top Argentinian operator, top Argentinian player for a long time, and then finally got a shot and didn't really go anywhere. So
Was he
I
not
think he's on
MLBR?
Imperial. He's on Imperial.
maybe it
Okay.
was
He was on
Imperial?
Furia for. Oh no, he was on 9Z and then Imperial. Yeah,
Okay, maybe I'm tripping.
he hasn't been too great on Imperial, but it's also Imperial.
Mhm.
They.
God, I got back. We're talking about Imperial.
Alright. Josh,
was
who's
the
your
move?
least impactful?
No.
Mine's gonna be like a mainstream one. I think Falcons. It's just a placeholder.
Right, we already
Eh,
talked about that.
Yeah, we kind of.
yeah, we already did that, so that's mine.
All right, mine. Like it's now that I'm thinking of it, it's not really a least impactful. It is very impactful. It's just in the other direction. So maybe a bad answer, but I said complexity. Losing a liege, dropping floppy,
Very
getting
impactful.
Dixie and Nix.
They just don't know what they're doing.
Very just like no, it's not that. It's like I commend Jason Lake and the boys for going like the NA pipeline route. You weren't gonna get a good enough replacement for a liege no matter where you looked. So you kind of had to do one of two things: either cut some costs and just make complexity an NA pipeline now, or you could have straggled and maybe got another European player or looked for like an upgrade from one of these ECL teams, something like that. But
Mhm.
Yeah, I just
I don't know. They were in a tough spot, obviously,
Yeah.
and I just think it's really hard, but to replace a liege, so it's not a bad outcome. I just think the move itself at face value is
Yeah.
they're gonna drop off a
it's
cliff.
tough because like we look at it and obviously you tip your cap to Jason Lake and them for like doing like right by the player, and at what point do you like think, okay, maybe I should sell this guy, or maybe I should like do something that would actually help develop our program? Because like you're saying,
I'm sure they got a.
Least
Oh, they
impact.
definitely got money for a leash. I don't think that was a free.
do you think it was a needle mover though? Probably not.
Yes.
I don't know.
I think okay.
From
This is
players
just me
they've been
speculating.
selling in the past couple of years, definitely.
Yeah, like just me
Okay.
speculating. If Nerds to Liquid, what did Overdrive say it was? I think he said it was like 1.5 or maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't trust everything.
I
you
think
guys
they
say.
came.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they
I
came
don't
back
either,
and
but
said
like
those numbers were
like
high.
it's
But
got to
yeah.
be in that range.
Okay.
So, or
like-
else Jason Lake's just shooting himself in the foot.
I get why you went least impactful. The only pushback and you touched on it, but like I think that just destroyed the one semi decent NA team, like actual NA team. So least impactful in terms of that team's going to be very irrelevant, but
Yeah.
very impactful I think to the scene here.
Yeah,
So.
unfortunately, yeah.
Mhm.
Very yeah.
All right.
Should we move on to dream roster change and let me start?
Yeah, let's
This
all
guy's
go.
been
Let's
dying
go,
for
let's go
this.
quick through this. Everyone just shoot it out.
I think this
All
is
right.
just the most obvious, simple to Navi for Wonderful. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Brother, what are we doing?
Go ahead.
I don't know, bro.
We'll touch on, and I have more on that later. Spoiler
I'm
alert.
snoozing on that.
But let's be real here. The scene needs it. I think if you look at Navi hold on, Navi who? What did they place at the major? Can someone remind me? Can someone tell me how they played?
They played the first
Outside
major.
top 8. Yeah.
Okay, just checking. I think they might be on the hot seat. I think if they do make a change, it's not going to be JL. It's not going to be Ema. It's not going to be Alexi.
Wait, why is it not going to be Ema? Wait, why is it
why
not
not
going to be
Ema?
Ema?
Whoa.
Because just his voice in that team and with Blade and Alexi is way too
Oh,
impactful.
his voice in the squad.
100%.
His
Yeah.
voice?
His
What's
voice.
his voice like?
He sounds great, dude. You ever heard
he's
of
he's very. Anytime you watch any content piece Navi puts out, which I do because I like Navi, he's very very impactful to the way that team plays.
He is a very vocal secondary caller.
I don't care. I've never seen Ema hit a 1v3 clutch on Cake on Anubis. So tough.
Yeah, the guy who did us putting up
alright.
.9s in the final. Go ahead. Who's next?
I'll slide in. My dream as a young NA boy
Oh god.
is when G2 collapses and Monacy goes to Falcons, that Malbs ends up on this roster for JKS.
That would be so
I like that.
We're
fun.
getting that we're getting that
Mm.
proper space take owner. We have an insane fragging core,
I like that a lot.
and that's the team right there.
That's the
That's
second
we're
best dream
bringing a
on the
major to
situation you can
America.
make. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
unreal.
Outside of simple to Navi, that's like top 2 for sure.
Simple than Navi, bro. Funny.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
Josh.
Sven.
Lay a juicy
Josh?
one on me.
It's gonna be brutal.
Me?
Let's go. Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah,
let's hear it.
when you go to sleep at night, what are you dreaming about for?
I'm gonna say this wild. I want Complexity to bring in a no-namer.
Yeah,
Just
you want like a
Brian.
real bag
They
pull?
already did.
They just brought in 2.
Yeah, so that's my dream move going forward because I read about it like yesterday. So that's my dream move.
So you're hyped
Okay.
to see that?
And I'm a little bit hyped. I'll be honest. Back in the day when Liquid removed what's his name? Grim?
Yeah.
I think that was a bad move because they removed who was it? Was it Fallen, Grim, and who else?
I don't recall. This is during my
I
7th
don't
hiatus
recall
from
either.
Counter
Like
Strike.
Okay.
Oosty was there
Yeah.
for a time.
Okay, back in the day when they removed Grim, Grim was a pillar on for Liquid, and they removing him was a bad move. And Grim here is suffering from, I don't know, he's suffering from everything.
Poor teammates.
So
yeah.
So I think Complexity bringing in no namers is gonna motivate him. to
Yeah,
be a better
he's going to
player.
have a lot of space now that Leash is gone. He's going to be that guy in the.
Yes,
I mean,
he's gonna be
Positions.
that guy. He
Can I
has
be
to
honest?
be that guy.
But
If
is he
I'm-
that guy?
First of
I
all,
don't know.
no. Second of all, if I'm Grim, I'm borderline demoralized that my one saving grace is gone.
I mean,
that-
I think so.
it's kind of his fault though. He
absolutely
really
he
help
didn't.
Elijah out
No,
this year.
at all. And I agree with that. But like, I think Complexity needs to go the other way. Bring in names and just figure it out. Like, bring in some hard hitters, some firepower. I just
Like, okay, like if you want to keep him
You can
NA
say
and you
that,
want
but,
big
like,
names
Who are you
getting-
getting?
from M80, M80 said they don't want to sell him and they want to stay in
Yeah.
those at the moment. So like, I don't know.
Can't
who
get the
from
wild
NA
card
you could
guys.
get.
Talk
Can't
to-
get
That's
I
the only
mean-
problem with
guys.
NA. Ever
Is
since
anyone
the
on energy
COVID
If you're
upgrade?
wild, but if
Yeah.
you're wild card, you just outperformed Complexity at the major, did they not? Like,
Yeah, but your
Yeah.
financial situation isn't outperforming Complexity. So if you're
No,
an
weren't they-
organization, you can
weren't they tied?
make that swap and it makes sense. Like, it's feasible. You know, Stanislav, welcome to Complexity. I'd like to see something like that.
Too many
I'd
IGLs.
like to see Stan go somewhere. I think he's an amazing IGL.
He should be on
Stan's
Liquid.
good. It's all good.
No, it didn't
I'll
work.
give you mine. I'll give you mine.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. This is not like I'm dying to see this, but this team would be unbeatable, and I think it would be the perfect roster. Vitality minus Mezzi plus Yimfat. That team might never lose again. We're seeing top of the line players in every role with Zai Wu and a good caller. Just send him up, bro. Wrap it up.
That's like the
Yeah.
perfect all-star. I don't think it works out just like at some point egos have to step in, no?
I think with the players you have, like Yimmy seems like a
I don't think I've
one of
ever
the
met a Finnish
chillest
guy with an
guys, bro.
ego.
That's
Yeah,
true too.
like I'm not worried about him, bro, and I'm not worried about Zaiwu either. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Four
thing that helps
teams.
that super team not blow up is the fact that two of their like one of the best anchors in the world, one of the best operas in the world, both don't have egos.
yeah,
I
it'll
agree.
be
I
awesome.
I think that's probably borderline like that's an all-star team. That's like I don't know if you can find better players for
that's a
those
super team,
roles,
bro. That's a
but
super
It's
team.
yeah, that's
my
I definitely
pushback
choose
is
super
when
team.
have we seen super teams work in Counter-Strike? There's
When
always
have
I
they
mean,
really been tried?
Depends on your definition. Yeah,
Phase?
they haven't really been tried.
Like FaZe
Like the
was successful
Guardian.
when they were first
Eh,
put together. They won tournaments. They just
but
won the
what's
major.
what's
You could argue
successful
when
if you're not
Astralis
winning
put
the
together a
major?
Danish super team, they became the super team.
Okay, but you could push back on the Astralis team. At any given time, they weren't all five the best player in their role. Maybe two of them were, but like they
Best
I
offer,
disagree.
best IGL, best anchor,
Best clutcher as well.
best clutcher.
that's not a role, but we can
And but
roll with
even
it.
like when they put that team together and it was like plus Magisk minus what was it Kirby
Kirby.
because Kirby left.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
Even that Kirby roster was supposed to be a super team. Like
Yeah.
you have to understand this is pre like major international Counter-Strike. This is like a
That's true.
Danish super team is what they put together, not like you weren't able to pick apart from different countries the way like teams do now.
I will say, I think
So-
if you're putting together a team based on regions, like you're just already doing it. Like there shouldn't just be NA teams. I don't think, to be honest, at the highest level. Like it doesn't work anymore. You need international teams. Figure it out.
I
Find me one that's working.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. I think when you look at a team like Marvels, you look at a team like Eternal Fire, you look at team even Saw last year with their success.
Oh yeah.
I think there is the ability
what is your
for
goal?
national teams to
But what is your
do
goal? Do you
well.
want to be the best team in the world? You can't do that with with a national team. You can't.
I think you can. I think
It depends. You definitely can.
What region?
like
I don't know.
I think if
don't
you
see
did
it.
minus Zontix plus
Russia,
Perfecto,
bro, Russia.
right there is a team that could be number one in the world, all Russian.
They're already
Right.
Yeah,
Like I think Russia can get away with it. I think Denmark can get away with it if the stars align. Like
not anymore.
not anymore.
pun
I kind of
intended.
agree, but like I said, if the stars align,
Fair enough. I personally don't
yeah.
think that's like a smart way to construct a roster. I guess I'll go.
I
with
agree.
that.
It's just there is language efficiency when you're speaking
that's
your mother
valid.
tongue.
That's valid. What do we got next?
All right, let's hop into the 2025 superlatives.
Start
Okay.
looking forward.
And let's go a bit quicker because I know we're gonna.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
yeah,
touching on 50
How
minutes.
long have we? Okay,
Touching on 50 minutes. Yep.
Okay, we'll go with this.
We can
we'll
start
go
flying
with
by with
speed here.
these.
All right, first is the Pleasantly Surprised Award, the team that overperforms the most in 2025. Let's just say based on like consensus expectations as of
Okay.
right now.
You want me to kick it off?
I'll lead off this one.
You'll lead it off?
I don't
Alright,
know. I
hit
don't know
me.
if anyone's gonna have this one, so I'm gonna go with Bet Boom
Ooh.
plus Boomich plus Axile. They have Magnagez, Zorte, and Siren on the squad already. I think C9 was already trying to poach Magnagez for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's maybe another team too, like previously. So he's already been a hot commodity in that scene. And Boomich and Axile, just insane upgrades.
Yeah.
Just insane. Like Boomich is probably the only guy you'd want in that scene right now, with Chopper obviously. But
Yep.
in the tier 2 scene, Boomich will just clear all of the other IGL's experience and just like current form.
I also expect
So-
someone like Axel to just clean house. in tier
Exactly.
two
Yeah,
Russia.
Axile
100%.
going
Yeah.
down a step, maybe gain his confidence back
Exactly.
and playing within a new environment. I think they'll be pleasantly surprising in this year.
That's valid.
Yeah,
Jay, who do you
I
got?
got no pushback for that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, mine's EF Eternal Fire. I think right now they're 13th, 14th according to the Valve rankings. I think they're going to be a team that consistently pushes for playoffs. I think they're going to be. I think they might break through and win at least one like legit tier 1 event, if not playing quarters and semis. It's not my hot take, but I would say I wouldn't be surprised if this team won one very big, very important tier 1 event this year.
They came close last year, like
Yep.
second at EPL, and they had
And
another second place
I think
somewhere.
they upgraded on their biggest flaw. So
Okay,
that's mine.
Josh, you got anything
Fair enough.
picked up?
You go next because I have mine's gonna be interesting.
All right. I'm also reaching down the HL2 rankings. Gamer. I've been loving this project for the last year. I think their ability to turn young guys into consistent major sticker money
Mhm.
has been really impressive. I think Ash is a great and
Shout out Ash.
not utilized but under respected coach. Like I don't understand why he's not on a tier 1 team. Obviously, I'm not in the tier 1 scene, so I can't speak to some things, but I would like to see him get his chance eventually. But with this roster, they're bringing in Rez from NIP, and as we know, when you leave NIP, especially the shitty roster that they've had together, you get that buff, that Brolin buff, right?
Yeah.
The post NIP glow up, so to speak. So I think you have Rez, who's going to be a veteran among guys, and this is the first time they're really getting someone with like that level of experience on this roster. And then they're also picking up a guy from Mao's NXT named PR. He was a little bit on my radar for the last little bit. I kind of did a bit of a deep dive when I heard they picked him up, and I'm excited for this guy. He's young. He's 17. He's going to be another diamond in the rough, I think. Like at first, it's going to be a little shaky, but once you get these guys going,
Yeah.
they're going to have a solid understanding of what their goals on the server and on different maps are going to look like. I think this team is going to surprise a lot of teams, especially at even Bounty, even early on. I think they're going to teams. So
That post
But-
nip clarity, if you
that
will.
Josh, what
post-nip
you got?
clarity.
I think the overperforms has to be, and it must be Astralis.
Yeah.
I think they were okay. Here's the
That
thing:
booty-ass
I
roster.
have them both, and overperformed in 2025, and they were ass in 2024. No disrespect to the legends there, that's what happened.
A little bit of disrespect.
No disrespect to the Stabby duo. You know, they brought back the legend Cadian, so
And it was
they're good
Stabby
there.
plus Cadian. Like, how do you not make that work?
Okay, some Astralis Hopium in the
I
chat.
like that though. I like that though. I like when we get further down the line, we're going to talk about most improved player. I have Device in the slot.
Oh, surprise!
Oh, surprise! He likes Astralis. I think that roster has nowhere else but up to go, because if they go down,
Yes.
it's fucking explosions. It's
Yes, I
things are
agree.
going to get torn
Well,
apart. It's
no
going to get dirty.
spoilers, but I do have Astralis later in my picks here. We'll get to that a bit
Yeah.
later. Let's go to the Drop the Ball award, and let's start with Jay. Who do you got for the most disappointing team in 2025?
I was going back and forth on two, but it's G2, man. Like, you had a year of Monacy and you're gambling, and I don't like it. That's all. Like, I it was between them and Falcons, but I understand what happened with Falcons. I don't think G2's management has any excuse for gambling Monacy's future. So that's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah, no pushback from me on that.
Yeah, I don't see that roster doing particularly well this season.
I
That's
also
why I
had
think they're going to
G2.
make a move very quickly.
You
Yeah,
had
G2
G2
also,
as well?
Josh?
I think this Nani was G2, no?
I don't have a
Right.
G2.
Oh,
I
you don't?
don't.
Okay.
I actually have Mongols. As much as I love this
Oh,
project,
Damn.
Senzu has like a
take.
broken wrist,
Crazy.
so they're not even going to be at early tournaments, and they haven't made a move, but they've made a big enough splash these last 3 months to be on everyone's radar. So people are going to be looking at heat maps for how Senzu plays. People are going to be really focusing on what this Mongols
Yeah,
team does well.
true.
And I think once you get in the big leagues, at first you kind of make a big splash, and then everyone learns how to ride the wave, right? So I'm expecting a bit of a downturn. I don't think it's. I think it's just going to be some adversity, especially because again, Senzu got hurt, does not help. So yeah, that's who I have for dropping the ball at least this coming season.
Okay, my drop the ball is maybe a little unorthodox. I got Mouse dropping the ball this year. I just think The vibes they're definitely going to be decreased from last season. Everyone knows that Yimmy is probably not on the squad after 6 months. I wouldn't say it's a dead team. I wouldn't go that far, but the vibes I just all their playoff failures, if they don't get over that hump early in this year, do they just start to get down on themselves and just think that we're going to lose one of our teammates in 4 months anyway? Like there's nothing really to go hard for here. So yeah, it's a little shocking, but I think Mouse could just really stall out. If they don't win at least like one tournament this year, I think that's a big disappointment for the talent they have. So they're gonna be my drop the ball for
I could
2025.
see it, just maybe not from a roster perspective, but like from an organizational, I guess, perspective. The fact that they're probably missing out on selling their best player and just riding him out to contract expiration. Like, I yes, it makes sense, but I still look at that team and I'm like, that team can win events. So I don't know.
Yeah, but if they don't win events and
And
then
then
they
yeah,
lose
yeah,
Yimmy,
yeah.
like you're not getting close to a good replacement, and
I
then
agree.
what?
I
And
agree.
then you're like a top, like borderline top 8, 10
Yeah, but
team.
Phase Academy
Yeah.
always finds a way.
I, I'm also expecting a bit of a regression out of Torsi this season. I think he ended last season really strong,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I'm not expecting him to continue that. I would love if he did. I ain't no hater, but I could
That's
see
debatable.
him slowing down a bit. And then I think the vibes on the team, at least from everything I've seen from like behind the scenes footage, has always been like they're just a group of friends playing Counterstrike, which is
Yeah.
weird. Maybe just because they're so young and they've
Why
been
is that
together for the
weird?
whole Nouns
I just don't
NXT.
think you see it in this scene.
Yeah, you just
You
don't,
don't,
right?
but that's cool. That's
And
hoping.
no, it
I
is
like
cool, and,
that.
and I love it about this roster. So I don't think like Yimmy being on a timer is going to be like a oh, what's the point? It's going to be like, hey guys, let's do this last run together,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Nico was on a
And
timer and it kind of gave them a second wind, to be honest. You know what I mean?
right,
So you never
All
know.
right, yeah.
exactly.
If
Like
Mouse
it could
has
be that one
Mondesi,
last
then we can
hurrah.
discuss, bro.
They have Yimfet.
All
All right,
right.
what do we got?
Let's move on. I'll kick this
Yeah.
one off. This is where I have Astralis. We got the Get Up Out of There award, the first team to make a change in 2025. I just think Big Daddy Blame F is waiting in the door, bro. He is just waiting. That Fnatic team is so dead. He's not waiting around like another 6 months
You think Blame F's coming back?
on that roster, bro. Who I don't care who's leaving. I don't care who's leaving. But Blame F's coming back, all right? It's just so obvious, and I don't think this Astralis team is gonna
Who's
perform
getting
that
out though?
well.
Stare?
They'll probably
Like you said, who
scapegoat him.
cares?
Like Astralis are so good at scapegoating. Don't know. I don't know who it'll be at this point.
I think the
But
problem is like role wise, I'm pretty sure he should replace Yabby, but Yabby's been the best performers,
yeah, Yabi's probably the only one I'd keep. Yabi and Device.
right?
You kind of have to.
So
So then, yeah, I don't know.
I don't really care. I just think
But
their team is not gonna do that well. I think it's a subpar roster right now. Cadian not opting on Rifle and IGL. It's a lot.
The
So
only reason I don't have any pushback, I just don't care about this team. Like this is such a boring team with such a stupid like timeline of how it came together. Like they're just yeah,
I
they
could
could
not
easily
disagree more, dude.
like
The
yeah.
just
drama factory that is Astralis is a pillar in the scene.
get
they
them
do
out of my
print drama.
face. Get them out of my face.
Spenny, do you think Blame F is gonna IGL though?
No,
Please
I don't
God,
think he
no,
should.
no.
I don't
No.
think he should, but he
Neither
hasn't
should
been
Device.
under an IGL, yeah, in a long time. Like he was under Device. I didn't really count that. So
Mhm.
I
I
think
don't
if
think
he
he was
comes
ever under
back,
device.
He wasn't. They dropped him
no.
and
They
elevated
dropped him and
Device.
then switched device to calling.
Yeah,
So who's calling that team
Blame F.
He was.
the whole time?
They had Glaive and Blame
After
F and they
Glaive.
shared responsibility. Glaive and it was just
Yeah,
Blame.
that's not it, bro. That's not it.
Yeah, I agree. Like as a rifler, I think Blame F is nuts.
Put him
And specifically as a T
under
lurker,
a
he's great.
rifle, or sorry, put him under an IGL. Now that you have Cadian, it makes sense. I see. I can see it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, no disagreement there.
Let's go to John. What do you
To
got?
John, I already kind of touched on it
G2.
earlier on, but yeah, G2. I think it's going to be minus Hunter plus Sphinx.
It's a
I
great
think
move.
if Bounty doesn't go their way, and maybe the event afterwards, double check the calendar for what it is. I think they're going to get desperate really quickly. Because if you're a G2 management, you once a week you should be calling Modesty's agent. Hey, you want to extend? Hey, you want to extend? And that conversation is going to come back to we need a good reason to, and good reasons come in money and teammates. So I think it's a very clear upgrade. I think it's a roster that's clearly going to struggle, at least compared to the success that it had this past season. And as a result, they're going to have to get, again, like I said, desperate to do something. So yeah.
No, yeah, I can see this one definitely happening.
Yeah, no arguments from me. I agree. I don't agree that they're gonna make a move first, but like I could see your point of view at least.
They're struggling out the gate. I could see G2's reactionary.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's you got next?
You
Save
go,
me
Josh.
for save me for last. Josh, go.
Okay. I think it's gonna be Furia, and specifically, I
Ooh.
think they're gonna remove Cello. I think
can see
Okay.
that.
I can see that.
I do not know who they're bringing in. I didn't like investigate further into it, but I see them as a team that's gonna make a change. The top 10 team is gonna make a change, basically.
Yeah,
I-
I,
It's
I
gonna
like
be
I
that.
like
it's gonna be
that.
Cello.
like
It's
that.
gonna be Cello.
I had kind of the same idea when I was picking Astralis. It's like one of the only teams that didn't really make a change just
Mhm.
now. So they're
Well, there's
kind
one
of
more.
not in the mindset of like, we just change, we can work things out. It's like we've already been
Mhm.
a team for a while.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stuck to the trend of teams that didn't make a change. Now, when you look at that top five, a
This
lot of
motherfucker's going
teams,
to say simple to Navi.
a lot
Oh
of
my
teams got
God.
better. However, the best team in the world last year was Navi.
Yeah.
Navi
So it would be outlandish for them to make a reactionary move like this, wouldn't it?
Navi fell off a cliff at the major. Navi had shown in multiple interviews, specifically with JL, that maybe the vibes are starting to get a little bit shaky. Now, am I saying you drop Wonderful and you pick up Simple?
Oh my.
Yes, I am. But I
Yeah,
can
you
see
know
this
hey
team.
guys, the vibes are down, the vibes are shaky. You know who we should bring in? A notoriously toxic player.
Yes.
The goat.
Dr.
That'll fix them
Vibe Check
right up.
Simple, bro. That's the guy.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I could see this team having another really, really, really bad event, and I think if they do, they're
Why
gonna
could
look
you
to
see
make a
that?
change because they ended the year horrendously.
They ended with like one or two bad events, bro.
Yeah, but when you're a top team in the world, you don't have one or two bad events. Like
And they
it's
Yes, you
and to be
do,
fair,
bro.
like it's not just one or two events, it's the major. The event that everyone's looking forward to and putting the most work
It
into.
is the
it's the
major, but
event they
And it
literally
put
was
the
every
Blast
team
most.
had
finals
bad
against
events
Tuffy.
It's
last year.
the event they put
Yeah.
the
Every
most
single
prep
team had
into.
bad
It's the
events.
event they obviously cared about the most. I guarantee you they'd give 3 of those chips back to win a second major. And I think if they come out the gate slow, which I think there's a high chance they do, because teams have caught on to the way they're playing, they have to adjust. They kind of have to formulate new stuff. And not that they can't, because if any team can, it's the team with Blade and Alexi. But they have an Opera who's inconsistent in the finals, and they have a GOAT sitting on the bench who wants to be part of that organization. They're
Oh
dropping the
yeah,
Jay,
ball.
I'm
can
gonna
we
be
pull up
honest,
Simple's
Jay.
final stats in the past couple of years, or
They're dropping the
Yes.
ball.
No, Jay, I think the only way Simple comes back is by going in a underdog team, improving as a player, because he didn't prove himself
he'll
anywhere.
just never do that, bro?
I just can't see that happening.
All right.
It's the only
Well,
way in my eyes, but I
yeah.
agree with you guys.
Listen,
I
I
agree with
will
you guys there.
say,
it's
I
okay to
think
be
Navi's going
wrong.
to be the best trained team out the gate.
Best train team out the gate. I could see it. I think
That's,
I think
I
anytime you
think they're going
have
to have a
those
good season. I don't think they're going to be a number one team, but they're going to have a good
I
enough
think
season. Not
anytime
to
you
make
have those two in a position where they have to innovate and come up with metas, like they're just gonna get out the gate hot. I could see that. I can also see them winning the map once or twice and having it auto vetoed against them for 3 months. Like the first
Yeah.
team that wins. I don't know where I heard this. It might have been on Talking Counter, but it's like the first team that wins train once or twice just has like
no one's playing it against them.
the most OP veto advantage because they just don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. They're like, yeah, we'll touch that later. They can do their auto veto. No one's picking train against them. So yeah, I could see that, but I don't think they're gonna really be able to leverage it. And let's be honest, like they have a goat on the bench. Go get him. Welcome back. Come save us, please.
In the Lord's year of 2025, bro.
Yeah.
Insane. Insane. We're talking like this. All right, let's go to MIP. Most improved player 2025. Josh, who do you have?
Most improved player. It's gonna have to be Naf. Of course, my
Ooh,
god.
Naffers.
Wow.
That was
I think that's my hot take is even hotter.
Oh, okay.
You will see.
I'm gonna make
I
people
think-
rage by the end of this.
I think he was not on his best form, and he kind of was getting
Look
tilted
at the
at
NAF
Jakinder.
pin.
I cannot see that.
Yeah, let me. I
It's a
could get
sloth.
too.
It was a whole situation. I didn't get
Oh,
one.
I see. It's on
I
top of
was
his head, right?
I wasn't giving them my
Yeah.
data. Team Liquid booth wasn't happening.
I think Jakinder was tilting Naf, and Naf was quiet about it. And now that they have nerfs, it's gonna become better.
Okay.
The vibes
I'll
are
be
definitely
honest.
up like
I don't
that.
think he had a strong year. I don't know if even if he had a really good year, would it be enough to justify like the most improved? I don't think so, but I definitely think he's gonna have a better year.
Do you don't think he's gonna have a better?
No, I do. I think he's gonna have a better year. I just don't think he was playing so bad that he would be the most improved player on a top 10 team.
Okay, I'm gonna say my second one. I have it right here. I think it's gonna
Okay.
I
be
don't think they have to be
Magic's.
playing bad.
I think it's
Magic's
gonna
I
be
can fuck
Magic's.
Magisk or Magix?
Okay, with X's.
Spirit?
Oh.
Okay.
Russian.
Spirit. Yes.
I was more on board
I-
with Falcons and Magisk.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay.
No. Maybe later that year. Maybe later this year. It's
Okay.
gonna
I
happen.
mean,
but Magic's.
it's your wrong answer. It's fine.
I think him winning the major is gonna make him emotionally a better player overall. And with Dunk by his side,
Anything's possible.
anything's possible, guys.
So, like, from what I don't know if you guys seen that video that came out where Shiro was like hard tilting in the major, but like he seems
Oh,
like
every game?
yeah, he seems like he has like for a young kid a good head on his shoulders, and like I don't know if that's like obviously it's gonna elevate him and like
Oh,
give him more confidence.
Magic's is like the emotional rock of that team.
Yeah, but like
Mhm.
he
Like,
seems
Spirit
like
puts a lot of
very
behind-the-scenes content out,
level-headed,
yeah.
and I don't know. Like I can't see that like crazily impacting his game, but I just like him. I didn't love his season, especially in the middle half, but or the middle
Yes.
portion, but I did like I could see the jump from being like very inconsistent to a rock on that team. So that's valid.
I do fuck with him as a human. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems like a sweet kid.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Alright.
Like 17?
I think so.
No, I
No, he's a
Nah,
bit
like
older.
19?
He was
Old?
he came up from Spirit Academy, or I don't think he was ever technically on Spirit. He's
thought
been
he
on
was,
Spirit
but-
for a while now. He was
Let
back
me
in like
check.
the Siren
Let me
roster.
confirm
I can
that real
check.
quick.
It was like Dexter, Siren, and
He's 21.
No, he was 21 and he was on Espada.
Damn, he looks like
yeah,
a
yeah.
child.
Esperanto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
John, you go
That
next.
team essentially became, I think,
Espada, by the way, not Esperado.
or Espada. Sorry,
Yeah, I have their AK stickers or their stickers
that's
on
right.
my AK.
That's right. That's right.
Hell yeah. All right, who's next?
Rookie. John, let's go with
I already touched on device, or
Yeah,
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 I
you
kind of
mentioned
loosely
it.
touched on device, but he had a bad season. He tried IGLing. It
He
looked
should've
like it
never
worked for
tried,
maybe
yeah.
half an event, and then it was very clear it wasn't working. I think now you're coming into a season where he himself has a break. I'm hoping he's figured out his outside of the server stuff. And if he has, I see no reason why in a year's time we're not talking about Device as a top 5 player in the game. He has
Okay.
that in him. When he came back from his break and joined in 2023, he was putting up some of the best numbers in his career. I think he 100% still has that in him. Things just got really messy last year, and I think it looks like they have a solid roster. I don't think roster changes are coming. I'm very excited to see what he's able to do on the server, and I think that's going to be the big make or break for Astralis. Like if Device can find his form and return to being like a top 3, top 4 opper, then yeah, I think
I was
that's
with you until you
possible, I
said top
guess.
5. I'll be
yeah,
honest.
you had
like,
me until top 5, bro.
I'll be
I'm not
honest.
gonna
Like
lie.
it's like Simple's more likely to end up on Navi than
No,
Devices to
chill.
finish top 5. Let's just keep
I
it a
think
buck.
Simple's more like Device is more likely than Simple to finish top 5 because Device is gonna be on.
No,
a
no,
team.
no. I said Simple's more likely to end up on Navi
Yeah,
than
okay,
Devices
okay.
to finish top
I think
5.
I think if he can re-find his form as like a top 5 operator, I think by the end of the year we'll be talking about him like, wow, what a season, what a year he's put together. Device is back, baby.
Wow, what a season.
Why are you
Jeez.
laughing, Josh?
He had a great season. One of the best seasons anyone's ever
Yeah,
had.
that actually sounded like Trump. Oh,
Whoa, was it? Shit.
whoa.
All right, Jay, you go next, and I'll finish it up.
I thought this was a unanimous. I guess I think it's Mobs. I think
That's my pick.
he had a fantastic year, and he just gets elevated opportunity, elevated positions, more pressure on him, and I think we've already seen that he thrives under pressure. Like he's him, to be honest. So he has way more roles, way more opportunity. He's put in a spot to be the guy with Mondesi. I thought it was a no brainer. He's definitely going to be the most improved player in 25.
That's my pick as well. I still don't
You
think
know,
people
ball.
realize how good Mobs is, bro.
Yeah.
Like
I don't either.
he was not just the third star of G2. He's a legitimate star player, bro. And now that
Yep.
he's getting
I
those
agree.
roles,
Yeah,
it's gonna be up, bro. It's gonna be up.
I knew
Central
you knew
America
ball.
on top, Josh. Central America on top, bro.
All right,
Let's go.
what do we got next?
All right, so hopping back into it. Next up, the biggest fall off award. Biggest player fall off. Individual player. However you wanted to interpret that. I'll kick it off. I'm going to continue the VP hate. I'm going to say Electronic. It's going to be a down stonks year for Electronic.
He can't fall anymore.
That's what I was gonna say.
He's
Like,
fallen
hold
enough.
on, let me see.
He can fall further, bro. There's
I-
always further. He's not at rock bottom just yet, dude. He's still on Virtus Pro. All right? They're giving him the reins to IGL. This is his fresh
Okay.
team. He probably had say in the players he picked up. And I don't think it's going to work out. So, for that reason, I'm out on Electronic.
Wow.
I
can see that.
I can see that. Like,
You know, a stat.
I
Go
I
ahead.
don't think he's gonna have a good year, but to kind of what Jay was saying earlier, like he posted a 1.05 on last year. Can it
gonna
really
be
get
lower
that
than
much
that.
worse?
It's going to be lower than that, bro.
Yeah, like and
I
I
don't
guess
know.
You could see a sub 1.
a sub one.
I think it's more likely he has a better year than last year than he has a sub one. Like he's still electronic. He'll find a
Sure.
way to get his, especially if he's calling. He'll find a way.
I just don't think that's true the past 2 years, 3 years.
It's okay. Like I could, yeah. I don't know. Okay, fair enough.
If you're going off his Navi days, sure, but that was
Like it definitely
5
has been a
years ago.
downhill from him.
Yeah.
right?
He's already, in my opinion, been the biggest fall off.
But like, if you're already 6 feet under, can you fall off further? Like
That's
you're
kinda
you're
exactly
dead.
right.
You're dead. You're done. I don't know.
No, he definitely can. If the
Okay.
team doesn't succeed, that just shows that he doesn't really have a place anymore.
Okay.
They just
I guess
tried
that makes
him as a
sense.
rifler. He came into VP, literally made the team worse.
I don't necessarily agree with like the thought process, but I see your point. I guess if that, yeah.
It's his last chance, bro.
I agree. It is definitely his last chance.
I think there's always going to be a team that takes a flyer on electronic if they need firepower.
Oh, there's a ton of tier 2 Russian
No,
teams
for
that'll pick
sure.
him up
Not
in
in
a
tier
heartbeat.
1, bro.
Not in tier one.
Yeah.
It's his last shot in tier one for the foreseeable future. I agree. I agree with that. Who's got next?
All right. Who's next? Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah.
why not you,
Sure.
brother?
I think mine's gonna be the number 16 on the top 20, Mr. Ima.
Oh, I'm in complete. You stole the answer from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
dude.
think we're feeling the same.
Yeah.
I think he's been alright with Navi this year. I think under Alexi B he's been what Alexi B requires, but not anymore. I think stats wise he's gonna go down.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
we're gonna see a return of first half of 2024 EMA.
Exactly.
That's
my
just
Yeah.
thought
hate.
Like
Is
he's going to
there a
be putting
reason?
up some middling 1.0. He's going to have the occasional stinker. He's going to have the occasional good event, and I think
Can I know what the
that's going
thought
to be.
process is? Like, why?
I don't know. When I watch this guy play, I don't see the same level of, what's the term I'm looking for? Not even consistency. Like the way he's able to maneuver around the map and get kills and produce value always seems like it's a split second away from failing and fucking up. And I don't think he can keep getting away with it. And I think we're going to exactly what was happening with the
Jesse
team in the
Pinkman.
early half of the year. Like his voice has been working when like we talked about how like he's been like a big voice on this team as like a secondary caller. And during their little glory run halfway through the season, I think it was very impactful and very important and a big part of we're succeeding. I also think the vibes have soured there, and as vibes continue to sour, there's going to be doubts. And the second there's a doubt in a call decision, it slows it down a little bit, and that's where someone like Ema feels it right away. In my opinion, if things aren't going 100% perfect, he's the first guy to feel the drop off, and so that's why I think he's going to be the biggest fall off.
Yes, there's two things in my mind whenever I think of Ima. I see Navi and I think which of the players I can change and be a better team, and that would be Ima.
Yeah,
You were saying, Jay, you wanted to change Wonderful, but
Yeah, it's not even close. It's wonderful.
who are you gonna change Wonderful
Simple.
with?
Brain dead.
Simple.
It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. It's an illusion what you're thinking.
All right.
And
we'll
the
see.
second thing, wait. And the second
nostalgia
thing I wanted to
maxing,
say
bro.
is,
I can't wait to have this call back in a month. Not a month. It'll take like
you know
6
what?
months.
Whatever. Let's keep it going.
All right. Let me
Sorry, enough hate.
let me take the reins here. I think we have seen the end of Ultimate in Tier 1 Counter-Strike for the foreseeable future. I think it became very evident that once teams figured out that he only does the same 2 or 3 things to find openings on every map he plays, unless he's completely innovated his game and his playstyle and found a way to actually be mobile with the op and actually work intricate openings that aren't consistently the same, I think he'll be back in Tier 1 because I think he has a talent for T1 CS. I don't think he's ready yet. I understand why Liquid took a flyer on him because he's a gross talent. He's just not ready. I think that's the biggest fall off in 25. I think he's going to go back, refine his game in Tier 2, and then get a different opportunity.
Disagree.
Shocker.
I'm like a soft disagree. Like I definitely see a world where Ultimate doesn't work out. This is his make or break season. But to kind of counter some of your points, Jay, has he been figured out? Yeah, but he's also had an entire off season with a Tier 1 coaching staff and a Tier 1 team to figure out his place on this roster and to create a bag, to start working out exactly what he can do when he can get away plays, and fine-tuning his timing, fine-tuning his ability to read the map. So I'm expecting him to have a good season, but I definitely see a world where he struggles.
Here's my pushback. They've known they're getting Nerds for, I don't know, call it at least 2 weeks before it leaked or whatever. Nerds was so that they're
rumor is they're talking to him before the major.
Okay, so
Someone came out and said that.
Let's say that's the case. What happens in these situations a lot is when you know you're getting a new fifth, you spend so much time and energy integrating the fifth that you let people fall off. You let your opper like Wonderful went from being the project of Team Liquid to just like, oh, he's doing enough. It's fine.
Ultimate.
Right. Ultimate.
Yeah. Sorry, who did I say?
Okay, no, I definitely agree. But
like, could you not see the staff maybe letting his game slip through the cracks to make sure Nurse is integrated?
No, because I think the whole
is the least experienced out of all of them, so they're definitely going to cater.
Yeah, but they have a flashy new toy.
It doesn't matter. Nerds is not a player that needs a lot of attention and like micromanaging. Nerds can do his own thing. He's already shown that he can do his own thing on a high level and succeed. Ultimate needs the help because he has shown really high flashes. And like when you're talking about the innovative peaks, he's already shown those. Like I would like him to create a bit more, get a bit deeper of a bag, but I think he's shown really high highs, and if he can tap into those more, he had some really stinky games this year as well.
To be fair, his lows aren't brutally low. Like he's never like
he did have some.
I just think like he'll go 17 and 17 with virtually zero impact.
That's not what I would say about Wonderful.
See, now
I feel like with Ultimate, every death and kill is impact.
Yeah,
I disagree.
A lot of the stinkers Ultimate have. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. But Ultimate had a lot of stinkers, but there are also games where on the T side of the touch the op wall. And this is something that, like, because it's such a force heavy meta right now, especially with how like Twist was running Team Liquid's T sides.
His rifle's good too.
His rifle is good, but it's not as impactful to find the space that you would want out of him versus when he has the op. I just feel like it's so night and day when an op is in his hand, despite his rifle.
Do you think he's a confident player in tier 1?
Yes.
I think he has
He looks
flashes where
pretty
you can.
comfortable.
I think he has flashes where you can tell he's definitely a little bit shaken up.
For his first stint, going straight from tier 2 to like a top 10
Not
team.
even tier 2, like tier 4.
Tier 2 EU to a top 10
I
team.
think the stage was a
he
big
looked
hit
pretty
for him,
comfortable.
and then he played okay. I just don't like. I think the stage got to him. I think his bag isn't deep enough. I think he needs time. I don't think he's going back to tier 7, but I think he needs time to marinate in T2 a little bit. And then I think he's going to come back and be a very good player for whatever team he ends up on. I just don't think he fits on this Liquid team long term, and I think he's going to have to refine his game a bit. That's my drop off.
Okay, here's the
Yeah.
thing though, Jay.
We'll see.
It's
We'll
the
see how
biggest
things
fall
go.
off though. Like compare Ema falling off versus Ultimate falling
If
off.
Ema
It's
falls
not the
off,
same.
he's landing back on a tier 1 team. If Ultimate gets dropped from Liquid, he is going to tier 2 or 3.
No.
I don't
yes.
know. There's
Yes.
not a lot of oppers in demand right now. He's comfortably a top 10
Yeah.
opper right now.
He's a top what?
Top 10 opper.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think
teams would jump at the bit. Like not top, maybe not even top 10 teams, but definitely a tier 1 team.
if you're Liquid and you're a top, let's call it 5 through 8 team, and you're dropping what you guys are calling a top 10 opper for either another young, unproven talent or someone who has proven themselves as an opper, other teams will do the same.
I don't think they would drop Ultimate for another project. That is
Yeah, I think if
Well, they're
Ultimate
gonna
is
drop him
getting
for
dropped,
Wonderful when Wonderful gets dropped for Simple. So it's gonna be like a cascade
I mean,
effect.
that's just a win-win for everyone, I guess, because
Yeah.
I'll take Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the biggest drop off. I think he's gonna have to spend some time in T2.
Okay. Don't ever call yourself a Liquid fan. Let's move on.
I'm not a Liquid
hot
fan. I'm just not a
take,
Liquid hater.
2025. Let's save mine for last here.
Let me keep the
Yeah.
good times rolling here. Simple will be on a top 5 team by the end of 2025.
That's the hot take.
That's my hot take.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
I've heard hotter from Jay.
because mine is Simple never gets back on the top 15 roster.
That is a joke.
Yeah, he's not.
He did that.
He's not
He did
getting-
that. He's like, "Wow, what's Jay's take gonna be, and how can I ruin his day?"
He's not touching a top 15
I think by
team
the
this year.
end of 2025,
You
Simple
are
will be
delusional
on a
if you
top
think Navi is
5
dropping
team.
Wonderful for him. What
I
team is
think-
that gonna be, bro?
I think it's gonna be Navi. I think it's just written in the stars.
Outside of Navi, what team?
There is no outside of Navi.
Mine is
because-
Shiro plus
So-
Simple.
So if it doesn't
Oh,
happen
I'm
with
so
Navi,
down. Oh my god, I want that more than Navi.
he's not going to a full Russian team.
No,
He's not going to a
He's
Russian
not.
team,
He's
dude.
gonna end up back on Navi. I'm very confident that
You're
He's gonna end up back on
confident in
Navi.
Wonderful getting
Here's the
dropped.
thing. I think Simple not proceeding with Falcons was a him decision, not a Falcons decision. I think that was made kind of clear just the way he put it out. And I don't think that happens because he does want to play tier 1 Counterstrike again, which I believe. I don't think that happens unless Blade hits him on the side and be like, "Hey, we might have Wonderful on a short leash."
No, you're delusional, bro.
That's not
That's
gonna
how it
happen.
works.
That's not gonna happen.
The
At
No.
the end of
best team of the
2025.
year, Blade is fucking like what's the word, tampering with Simple on the side.
Me and John, it's not tampering. He's a part of their roster. He's signed. There's no tampering involved.
Tampering.
No, it's not.
If that gets leaked out, your team is shot, bro.
No, it's not because you just bring in the greatest player to ever play the video game, and then you're fine. It's okay.
Okay,
He'll be fine.
I don't think
Greatest player. Okay,
On
that's
Go
like
maybe.
saying I want MJ on the Wizards, bro. No, he's
I'll
not
amend
that
it.
right now.
I'll
Stop
even amend
acting
it.
like
I'll
he's
amend
that
it and
good right
double
now. He's
down.
not.
Simple won't be on a top 5 team. He'll be on Navi in particular. He's on
Oh
Navi by the end of the
God.
year.
Okay, just go next, bro. It's
All
done.
right, yeah.
At least
just-
it's a hot
just
take.
go
At least
next.
it's a hot
Just do-
take.
It's not.
At least
a,
it's hot.
I don't even think it's a hot take. I just know you guys think it's a hot take. I think that's like come on, grow up.
I okay. I could see a world where Simple's not on a top 15 team at the end of the year because he's just simply not a team.
Yeah.
So
If Simple
yeah.
is playing and trying to play tier 1, do you think he's not on a top 15 team, or is that delusion?
I don't.
I
think
mean,
he is. That's my hot
sure,
take.
but okay.
You
Here's
just
the
said
issue
the
with
op
Simple.
pool is
No.
limited.
Here's the issue with Simple. He's
Yeah,
too
what has he shown me
good.
in CS2 on
and-
the op?
He's too good to go to a tier 2 team, which is what he needs to do. He's
Yeah.
too expensive to go to a tier 2 team, which is what he needs to do. So the only people who are going to be willing to pick him up are desperate tier 1 teams, and I think putting him in desperate situations is a recipe for disaster.
Do you
So I
think
just
Liquid
don't
gets? Does Liquid get better if they remove Ultimate and pick up Simple? Not instantly. By the end of the year, are they a better team with Simple?
like maybe,
Mm,
but it's
like it's
like
not worth a gamble, bro.
it's like a 25%
you're
chance.
gam-
Yeah, they're insane. 75% is they're staring at you as like a roster.
I
that
think
blows up.
watching him play, he was clearly not in a space where he cared about them. Like he didn't care about that roster, and he
But
had
if it's your first return back after like 8 months of
Exactly.
not playing, and you already don't care, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
because
Who-
you're
who's
going
wanting
really
to
pick
don't
that
have
guy
the
up?
passion.
you're going to a team who you know is making changes and bringing in Nico. You don't really care about the results. You're getting your feet wet. And if you sit here and say he didn't have flashes, he didn't play phenomenal. But he was easily the best
He
player
had
on the
moments. He
roster.
had moments. I'll give
And
you
he
that.
had moments where he looked like his old self. Moments. What are we laughing at?
Like, we're
He didn't have
basic now,
moments?
Two.
man. Like
That
moment,
is
I would say maybe a moment.
no, he had multiple moments where he looked great. And if he gets comfortable and he finds a team he likes and he ends up on Navi, he's gonna stick. It is what it is. Move on. Whose hot take is worse than mine? Let's go.
Oh, mine's probably worse. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
By the end of the season, Twists will be considered a top 5 IGL in the scene.
Mm,
I think by the end of
I
the season,
think
Twist
that
won't be calling.
man. I think that man has figured out CT sides.
The T sides need work.
They
bro.
do,
I agree.
and
yes.
For
I
him to
think
be even
I
more
think
active
they're going to
situation.
be putting in a lot of work, and I think we're going to see a surprisingly really strong Liquid team here.
The CT sides, don't get me wrong, they should have some of the best CT sides in the game. Like,
And I think they honestly, I think last season, arguably, you could argue they did. They had some of the best.
I
It's the only
would
reason they were
love
able to
it to
win some
happen
games.
for
and now you're getting nerfs on
NACS.
the rotates too. Imagine.
But like,
Right?
I think their CT isn't even like. There's no question. It's not an issue. I just think they looked G2 level of confused with Snacks calling. Like there was bad moments where like
No. There, don't get me wrong. There was
Yeah.
abysmal moments on T side, where they were just like breaking down on like fundamentals. Like, oh yeah, we're mid round 5v5. Let's just mid round 5v4. Let's not send a scouting player out to try and suss the CT setup. No, let's just group stack towards like Anubis B side and exec on it. We ran into a stack.
And then
And so
Oopsie.
now, so your CT side got way better with nerds, but now at least you could send Yeki in as like a go die for us. Go get info. Now JKS
No, we got
is
that. It's JKS now. Don't worry.
it's gonna be so much harder for him to use. I feel like as bad as Yakinder was, he was probably very easy to call for and like to use as a player. He wasn't
yeah, but it
getting
just
his
wasn't
kills,
working.
and it wasn't working. But at least you know he's going in. JKS
I don't know.
might have.
I don't think there's ecos on this team.
There's selfless
It's not
players,
about.
bro.
It's not
Twist
about.
is gonna
It's,
do it
no.
himself as well.
It's not about having
Yeah.
an ego. It's about not feeling comfortable taking the paths going in first. It's about like, are you comfortable dying when you like first every round? I don't know. That's not how JKS has been like playing T sides his entire career. So I get
I'm
like
thinking
it
this
said
sounds
moments.
side's gonna
it
be more
sounds good
dynamic
where
than
you're
that.
like, yeah, I'll be that guy. As long as we win, I'll be that guy. But if you're not winning and you're JKS, you're second guessing your role, you're not comfortable, and like, dude, they already had a dog shit T side.
Exactly, and I'm thinking that's going to improve, and
Well,
Twist is going to
I'm
improve as a
thinking Nerds
I
caller.
is gonna
hope
help
it does.
bro,
I
for
can't see
sure.
it. I hope it does. I can't see it.
I hope you're
You
hearing
hope it
yourself right
doesn't.
now,
You're
Jay,
such a
with that
liquid hater, bro.
simple hot take.
I'll be honest. I would go as far as say Simple's not even a hot take. It's just I know you guys are. Like he's on Navi.
No, it's a hot take. It's not a hot take to the simple glazers like you, bro. I know a few guys like
Yes.
you too.
Hi, my name's Spenny. I'm a Team Liquid fan. Shut up.
Yeah, what are you a fan of, bro?
Simple.
Nothing. Nothing.
Simple.
Greatness. No, my answer is greatness. I'm a fan of greatness.
Okay, that's the
It
worst
is
thing
what
I
it
heard all day.
Okay.
Josh, what's your hot take?
My hot take's kind of interesting, I would guess. Ends being a top 15 team at the very least.
Ooh,
Ooh.
and
I
slow.
think
Let me go check the roster.
The
the
Glaive
Polish
led
guy
it.
they got, what's his name? Like ex Kapersky or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yes.
pronouncing that.
Persky.
Out of
That
respect
guy
for the guy.
is nice.
good.
And the French guy, I think they're kind of new to this
Nephew.
team. Yes.
Me too. Yeah, he was a Mouse NXT guy.
And I think SDY and Glaive already have the knowledge of the game. They were
Mhm.
top players back in the day, and with that new blood they're bringing in, they're gonna be a top 15 team. I think Glaive is gonna do a great job with them.
I
Pretty
would
much.
agree with the caveat that it only happens if Zonic joins this team because they clearly can't work without one another, and it's just like they're both dog shit. Let's just figure this out. Have
That's
a
that's
have a
that's the hotter take.
kumbaya and just figure it. I don't know. I think Glaive is kind of past. I don't want to say past his. Yeah. He's just. I don't think he's that guy anymore. I think we've seen him with young talent and it hasn't worked on this ends team. So like,
No, but put it this way: it was a dangerous dude with 4 Polish guys. I think
At
that's
the
not
start
gonna
of
work.
that roster,
Yeah.
it was messy.
It was messy, yeah.
But
For sure.
top 15 is just they're 36th right now in
Yeah.
HLTV ranking. They're 30th Valve. I don't know.
Okay, I like Glaive. I love that whole original Astralis line. I also really like Pody on that roster. I think he's
Yeah,
their
Pody.
upper. He's really good. I like it. I like a lot of the moves he made. It's a young, inspirational team. It's kind of how they shifted there. I think a big issue, and they talked about it in interviews last season, is like DY, who has a history as a caller, just disagrees with how Glaive sees the game and vice versa. And it's not like an issue in the sense that like I don't want to do what Glaive is doing. It's more like he's uncomfortable with what Glaive has given him. And I think SDY is a pivotal part of this team because he's one of the vets with experience who's really strong player. Like I'm a big fan of his game. I think if they can clear that up, I don't think top 15 is out of the question. I think it's a bit of a stretch, but
They
hey,
would
it's a
have
hot
to
take.
they would have to bump one of Gamer Legion, Eternal Fire, or 3D Max.
I like it as a hot take, Josh.
I like it as a
honestly.
hot take.
I like it as a
That's
hot
pretty
take.
good hot
I
take,
think
right?
there's
That's pretty good.
I
their
just
young.
can't.
I
like
like
that.
their young players.
Mm-hmm.
And one event a year, Glaive is good for a masterclass.
Oh yeah.
So they catch that, they catch some VRS points,
It's gonna
they
be
go on a little
it's gonna be
run.
Blast Bounty, and then that's
It
it.
could happen, bro.
Yeah.
It
We're
could
just gonna
happen.
fall apart. All right,
Dude,
what do we
imagine
got?
they just like pick bounties apart.
Oh my god, what do we got
All
next?
right. That wraps up the 2025 superlatives. We're gonna hop into the top 5 rifle trios. So essentially, we're
Ooh.
ranking rifle cores heading into this 2025 year. Who we think has the most firepower as a rifle trio,
Okay.
and I think we just work on it as a group here, get a little consensus going. I think for number 1, we should all have Navi. I assume JL, Bit, and Ema.
What?
How many spots do we have?
We have
for the
5, top
ranks?
5.
There's
Top
5
five?
spots.
Okay.
So
Do we maybe want to rifle off all of our individual ones and then get into like trying to
or
piece them
let's just
together?
get a pool. I think we can all
Do you guys not have
7.
them?
I have Navi number 1. I think it's.
I have
Yeah.
Navi number 2.
Okay, Josh, do you have Navi?
Yes.
Who do you have number 1?
Okay,
I can give on Navi number 1. It was very close.
I had it on 2 as well.
Who do you
But
have?
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Phase
had
number 1.
Elige, Frozen,
Okay,
Yeah.
they're my number
Yes.
2.
They're my number
Yes.
2.
Okay.
I think we can. Yeah, we can. Maybe we see FaZe surpass them this year, but I think based on last year, we gotta put Navi at the number 1.
Okay,
That's
so we
fair.
got Navi 1, phase 2.
So
Yeah.
JL, Bit, Ema, number 1. Elige,
Yeah.
Frozen, Rain, number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 for me was a new squad: Rops, Flames, and Mezzy.
I had Liquid.
Okay,
Liquid.
Liquid was
I had
my
Liquid.
4.
I had Twistless and
I
NAF.
They're my
Yeah.
number 4.
Yeah,
Who do
okay.
you-
I have Vitality 3 as well and Liquid 4.
Okay, Josh.
There's no pushback. Ugh.
I had
Gosh.
Liquid 5
Oh
and
wow.
Vitality 4.
Who's your
Who's your
three?
3?
Who was your 3?
It's gonna be Spirit.
Spirit.
Okay,
Damn.
that's I don't have Spirit on my top 5.
Spirit. Yeah, it's hard to rank
I
Spirit.
just
me
think
and Sim were talking
yeah,
about this
because it's
pre-stream,
Donk
but
and then a Cliff,
that's
and
what
then
I'm
the other
saying.
two, and we're
But
ranking
I can
cores.
Spirit because it's the
I
best.
think okay.
rifler
Here's
in
the other thing.
game
I think
by
Sontex is
wide
the
margin.
least, is the lesser of the 3.
I think Zontix is more
Yeah.
important than Magix.
I think Magic's gonna be better. So that's why I'm going with that narrative. I think Magic's gonna be better, and it's gonna be number 2.
That's fair.
Okay.
So
And you had
I
Vitality
like
number 4.
my reason with Liquid at 3 is like I don't think they have a not that Mezzi's an anchor, but it's like Rops, Flames, Mezzi. Whereas I think Liquid's a little bit more balanced across like
I just
dude,
think
that's so gross.
balanced though, but Rops and Flamesy are the 2 best players there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's
So
that's
I
a
Yeah.
think
good
that
point.
holds
Okay, I'll
weight.
concede. I'll concede that.
Mm-hmm. That's basically what I came to as well.
Because I had Vitality 4, so we'd go Vitality 3, Liquid 4.
Liquid 4, and I can hear Spirit 5, but in my list I had Falcons actually at number 5.
So
I don't see that.
What did
Tessus,
you have,
Nico,
John?
and Magisk.
Tessis, and Magisk. Yeah, I think
Mm.
Nico holds a lot of weight. He's clearly the second best rifler. And then Tessis, he kind of moved me last year. I'm not gonna lie. He was still inconsistent in playoffs, but he had a lot of good showings that made me confident in him. And I think Magisk is just a rock.
John,
so.
what did you have?
I debated on this for a while, and I really could not pick between Spirit and Falcons because they're very similarly structured when it comes to. It's like you have Donk and you have Nico. These guys are head and shoulders better than everyone else on their team, as far as rifling goes. And then I just like when I compare Zontix and Magix fuck, they're the same name.
Magisk.
Versus Magisk. Yeah, versus
Magix.
Magisk and like okay, Zontix versus Magisk, right? Those are like the two you kind of have to compare there. They're more solo side
Yeah.
anchors.
Yeah.
And I think Zontix had a better year last year. I think Magisk. And now
Sorry,
I
say that again. You cut out a little bit.
You cut off, yeah.
sorry. I think Zontix had the better year last year as a rookie. But I think Magisk is the better player. And then when you compare like Tessis and Magix,
The
Tessis,
bro.
like right, it's kind of a toss up. Like if to Josh's point, like if Magix can be the guy he was in major playoffs,
Yeah.
and that's
taking
like
Spirit.
becomes his level, I'm taking Spirit like over a
Yeah.
couple of other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of a sudden it's like, yeah, like that was an amazing performance. But I just don't. I think that was like he life gamed. I don't think that's the status quo going forward for this kid.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to lean slightly toward.
So we're missing a team here, and
Are
this
we?
is
T2?
this is off the board.
Eternal Fire doesn't make this, bro.
Eternal
Sorry.
Fire
No.
at 5.
Nah.
It's not
Dude,
enough.
if you
I
said
think-
Mouse, we could have had a
No.
Mouse was in my
Chip,
honorable
if you said
mention.
Virtus Pro,
I
we could
think
have
they have a
conversation.
core of Zantars, Wicadia, and Joda, and if Joda
Bro,
performs,
Joda has not played a game in tier 1.
Joda is not the guy you think he is.
Hold
Who
on,
do you
hold
think
on.
this guy is?
And I
Fucking Eternal
think-
Fire is all he can rewards, bro.
And no, that's not true. There are 2 of them. I think the worst player in that rifle corps will end up being Wicadia at the end of the year. And I think that is the highest floor besides FaZe or Navi.
Wow, I
think
what do
that's
you mean highest floor?
That's like another hot
Wholeheartedly.
take, bro.
I think
You're telling
Wicadia-
me you're telling me Wicadia will be a better player than one of Rops,
Rain?
Flamesy, or Mezzi, or so I guess Mezzi.
Yeah, Mezzi.
I'm taking Mezzi. No, I'm
No.
taking Mezzi over
No.
or Joda and
I'm not. If we're
Wicadia
talking
any day.
firepower, we're just looking at rifle cores. I have Eternal Fire at my 5. I understood going into this.
I
This
don't think
wasn't
you
gonna
watched
be
the
an-
Okay,
Eternal
we have
Fire.
to come to an agreement.
We do,
have
so
to-
I understand my Eternal
I'm
Fire
hearing none
take
of
is
that, to
getting
be
kicked
honest.
out.
I ain't
But
hearing any of that.
For
no.
me, here, let me put it this way: if I was building a roster, I would take that rifle core. They just Donk
No,
is
you
so good.
wouldn't. Not over the
Over
any
the
of these other
Falcons,
guys.
over the Falcons, when I would.
Over
No, you
Nico.
wouldn't.
Over
Dude,
Nico, you
as
would
if
take.
it's a
You would take
3-pack, if
Zontar.
it's a
Oh, wait.
three-pack.
Okay, no.
Wicadia,
If it's a
Work with-
3-pack,
No,
it's a
Jay.
3-pack.
I don't give a
Like-
fuck.
Jay, work with me. Nico or Zontaras? Which one would you want to
Nico.
have on your team?
Nico.
It's
Okay.
not
Okay,
close.
okay.
It's not close, bro.
Tessus or Wicadia?
Wicadia.
Tesses.
We know she's gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh
Wicadia.
my god.
And I'm taking-
Wicadia was
Magisk?
so inconsistent. last year.
4-time major winner Magisk?
Oh,
or
are we
Joda.
doing? My bad.
Or
Okay,
the
okay,
guy
I
who
fucked
hasn't
up. Are
played
we
a game in
doing
tier
rifle
one.
trios from 2018 or for 2025?
Okay,
I just
2025.
wanna know.
Jota games on land in 2024 in tier 1? 0.
Okay, that's fine. He's gonna be him. Not a hot take. Anyways, we can kick my EF out, but that's who I had at the 5
You're
spot.
booted, bro.
Okay,
You're
so
booted.
who do we
So
have
it's
at 3?
between Spirit. I can be the
I
tiebreaker
think
then if it's between.
I think right now we have
Spirit and-
Navi phase as a staple.
Navi's phase, Vitality, Liquid,
Yeah.
and then it was between
I think we can all
Falcons
agree on
and
that.
Spirit. I'm
And
going.
I think it's between Falcons and Spirit. I
I would
think
take Spirit.
VP could be a talking point.
I'm not
Nah,
hearing
nah,
VP.
If we
But-
kicked out my take, that's gone. We are kicking that out. There's no way.
I'm down to
Dude,
give up Spirit.
Flamus,
No.
Fame, and
I'm not hearing.
sorry,
that yet.
Famus, Flip.
I'm not hearing that if we're not hearing EF. I
Flip
would
and Fame.
personally take Spirit
Fame,
over
yeah, I
Falcon.
guess.
You take Spirit over Falcons?
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
I'm
I
taking
can-
Falcons.
I'm probably leaning Falcons too, but I can also hear Spirit.
Yeah,
Spirit.
like it's a toss up for me. I'm not too.
They have the best
It's a
player,
50-50.
and I think they have probably they're probably when they're all playing bad, Spirit's gonna be worse. But I think we've seen their peak, and their peak won a major. So it's like going into the new year, they're all
Yeah.
young. I mean, again,
if Magix is even remotely close to what he showed at the major, it's gonna be Spirit for me. So.
even if
Yes.
he's
Yeah.
if he's worse than he was if he's a little bit better than he was throughout most of the season, they probably are 1 or 2 this
Yeah.
year.
I'll put
They're up
Falcons
there.
there, and if Magix with X's is
Oh,
good,
so I just
it's gonna
hopped
be
on
Spirit.
your train, and then
We get
you
a
just
caveat.
derailed it. Okay,
Nah,
that's cool.
I
That's
I
fine.
agree. Like, okay, let's do it. Nico versus Donk
Donk.
for sure.
Yeah.
We go Magix versus Magisk. Who are you taking right now?
Like they're pretty similar.
They're pretty similar.
Magix
I-
had the best event out of both of them by far. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I'll like.
No, fuck, I'm
if
taking
right now,
Magix.
if you tell me right now, I'll take Magisk.
I'm
I
taking
think you
Magix.
should go Magix Tesses and then Magisk Zontix.
I agree. And in
For
which case, I'm
comparisons.
taking
Yeah.
Tessis, and I'm
Yes.
taking Zontix.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Zontix.
But just
as
kind of
well.
bad year, dude. Not that like it can be fixed,
So
but
it's Spirit. So it's Spirit.
it's Spirit.
Okay.
It's
can go
one
Spirit.
bad year to me, but yeah, I'm comfortable saying as well.
Okay.
I have no
Okay,
dog in
Okay.
this
that's
race.
cool. I'm glad we came to that conclusion. Now
That was good.
we're
EF, I
hopping-
think, still a hot take, but whatever. I think.
We're hopping into a different segment now, and segment is called Would You Rather. So I have a player in mind that I'm gonna introduce to the boys. They're very comfortable with this player. We've been talking about him almost all episode. And then I'm gonna give them a bunch of other players who I think are in similar skill level or similar caliber as a player, and they're gonna tell me who they would rather have on their team. If they're building a team, who would you rather take? Essentially, all right?
Mhm.
So the player for this would you rather is Ema from
Ooh.
Not a Sincere.
I'm
We're gonna
taking
see if he
Ema.
can hang with the big boys.
I'm taking Ema.
Ooh.
All right, first player, Spinks.
Ema.
Mm.
I don't want no attitude problems on my team. Ema.
Right? So here's the thing. I think Spinks is a better counter player. I think out of server stuff, it's like the complete opposite. Like Ema seems like a great person to have out of server.
If I'm building a team, I'm
Josh,
taking
are you
Ema.
leaning on either
I'm
direction
leaning
here?
on Sphinx. I think
Right?
Sphinx is a better CS player.
Does the talent override the attitude problems?
That's
I
a
think
talent that can be
outside
the
of
second
attitude-
guy in a major win.
Outside of attitude problems, I think the intangibles that Ema brings to the team. I mean, he has easily the most probably fundamental IGL coach duo, and they very clearly respect and value the ideas and opinions he brings to the team. I think he's very, very valuable to most teams. So I'm good, Ema. I think John,
Okay.
you should agree with that. You got
You guys don't have to like come to a unanimous decision.
A
It's
consensus.
Just person.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna lead Spinks. I think when you get an informed Spinks, that is
It's okay to be wrong.
a top 2 in his role. So
It's
yeah.
all
All right,
good.
all right. Let's go next. Would you rather Ema or Xertian?
Ooh.
Ema.
Ema.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Xertian disappears in the playoffs, man. I
Really?
can't get over that. At
Searching does
least
disappear.
Ema will show up for half the year.
Postseason
I'll give it
as
to
well.
Ema. Ema doesn't have that pressure on him whenever he's in playoffs.
Mhm.
Searching looks like he's
Like
on the
seeing
edge,
right.
you know, of falling
Seeing
off.
ghosts.
Shout out Jared Allen, the Lance.
Like I will say, Xertian does have the worst of the two jobs. Like he's just hard entry. Like it's an unforgivable position.
Hey, Donk's a hard entry too, big dog.
He's one of the most selfless players in the scene.
He
No, he
is.
is.
There's a lot I like about Xershin's game, but
I don't think this one's
in a
particularly
team
close
like
for me.
Gamer Legion, Ema could be your number.
Okay, saying it's not close, Jay, is crazy.
I don't think it's not close. I think it's definitely close.
For me, like Spinks, like they're no, like
Xershin.
no, I know. I'm saying for me, Spinks made me think about it. I'm like, okay, does the talent outweigh the intangibles? For me, it's like I don't see a big talent gap, and I think proven player in the playoffs, and the intangibles are still there. It's no brainer for me.
That's fair. I'm leaning Ema.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Consensus there, I guess.
Next player, Nafly.
Ooh.
That's
Ema.
crazy.
Nah, dog. I'm going
Who's
Nafla.
riding?
I
who's
can't let my
riding for the
Canadian
squad,
bias show
bro?
here, can I?
I'm going Nafla all the way.
I'm going Naf too. It's not even close for me.
It's not even close.
It's
Saying
not even
that's
close.
not close is delusion.
You
I
see
think
this
you put
pin, bro?
Naf.
It's not even
I
Yeah,
think you
close.
put Naf on
I
most
was
teams.
there
and
when
he
you got that
becomes
pin, man.
better.
He's more plug and play.
Yes, Danima for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're building a team, you don't really want plug and play, do you?
I'm
want
not
somebody
building
to
around
build this-
Ema.
So it's
No,
the guy that
'cause
likes
here's the thing,
Robs.
right? You can put Naf in any team, and I don't think there will be an issue because like what we saw with the Cadian roster is Skulls basically took all his spots, and Naf started hanging around with the pack, and he did that like with no complaints, no issue, and he still put up good numbers. Meanwhile, with Ema, when when he was brought into Navi, he struggled in like every position they put him in. They gave him
Yeah,
working
but then they
spots, it
won the
wasn't
major.
working.
They won 6 events, and he outperformed.
They won the
Naf,
major
like-
in spite of him.
They did not win. Yeah, first of all, they did.
I think
0.88 at the major in spite of him.
0.88 is crazy.
the
my
last
brother.
3 months, and even I'd probably go back to say the last 7 to 8 months, he had better firepower than Naf. He was a
Not
more.
8 months.
No,
Whoa,
not
whoa,
8
whoa.
months.
I would go.
You can go after the player break.
No.
You can go after the player break.
Last 5 months, sure.
After the player
Yeah,
break, I
5.
was high on him like nobody would. Like you guys know that. After the player break, I thought he was a top 5 rifle for a couple months.
And Naf
Not rifle. You said top 5 player.
Shit, he was that too.
Naf does not get the luxury of playing in Navi as well. He's been playing on subpar rosters.
It's not
Yeah.
anyone's fault that he decides to stay in NA though. Like that's you
It's not
can't
his
use
fault.
that as part. Why? If he wanted to play an EU team, I'm sure there'd be plenty who would want him at some point.
I'm sure
Maybe
there
not after
was.
last year, but
I'm sure
I'm
there
taking
would,
Ema.
but he
Like
didn't
regardless of
want
where you're
to.
playing, they're still playing against the same competition.
you're not playing with the
And,
same competition. That matters.
I
They're
mean,
playing in EU a lot of the year.
I'm saying that your teammates though.
What about him? Yeah, like Naf and Ema are
I
in different
think-
situations.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I think
saying
Nath-
I don't think it's fair to use Ema's situation against him if you're talking about comparing players. It's like he's in that situation for a reason. It's because of his voice. It's because of his ability to get hot and play good. I'm taking Ema. Who's next?
I'm taking Naf.
I'm taking Naf.
All right, next up, JKS.
Ema.
Ema.
Josh.
This should be a no-brainer.
This one I feel like is a bit of a no-brainer. I'm not gonna lie.
This is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's in. I was just thinking, Jay. Can I not think?
Okay,
Shouldn't
hear
need
me
to
out.
think about that one.
Nexa or Ema?
Jay wants that shit to be right away. All right, next up, Rain.
Ema.
Mm,
After last year, you
I
have.
think it's close, but I'll give it to Ema as well.
I think I gotta give it to Ema after last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, teammate, Ema or Wonderful?
It depends on the situation.
Who would you rather have on your team?
Wonderful's a better
Wonderful.
player. Wonderful.
Wonderful for sure. Yeah.
I think
Wonderful
Ema's
is
more
better in his
important
role.
to that Navi team, but Wonderful's a better
Yeah.
player.
Alright.
Yeah. I'll agree with that. Sure.
Ema or Nerts?
Hmm.
Bro's looking up stats right now.
I had to just check.
I think I'll give it to Nerds. I think
I think I'm also leaning Nerds. Yeah.
I
I'm going
actually am
Nerds as
too.
well.
I think he's been more plug and play than Ema here, and him with Wonderful, that would be nice.
My God, it will be a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. If you
I
imagine if
think
you
you
had
add nerds to
nerds
this
and
Navi
then you
team, they
took
improve.
simple. and then-
Okay, we're going back to that.
as
You
a
lost me.
tandem. No, I'd go nerds. I'd go nerds.
All right. Ema or Malbs?
Malbs.
Mobs.
Mobs.
Okay, I figured that.
Central
Ema
America, baby.
or Yimfat?
Yimfat.
Yimmy.
Jimmy.
Ema or Blame F?
Ema.
Wait, hold on.
Okay,
Let
it
me
depends
think.
here.
Don't.
Are we
hold
talking
on,
about
dude.
Bader F?
Beta
I'm
F.
talking about Clutch F.
Clutch F?
We're talking about
Clutch F, Reformed F.
Combo practice?
Turned a new leaf F.
specifically not IGLing Blame F.
Yes, we're going rifle F.
I'm going Blame F.
I'm going Ema.
Oh, I'll go Blame F as well.
I think when Blame F is in a team, okay, I think both him and Ema need to be doing like specific things on whatever roster they're on. But when they get that like situation, Blame F is a monster on the server.
That's true.
If you have like strong entries doing a lot of the early work for him and Blame F is the guy knocking him down, jeez, man, he is very good. I'm going Blame F.
He's a
I
beast.
agree, but I'm going Ema.
Okay, fair
Blame
enough.
F's a
that's
beast,
just-
but
That was the last name.
that was the last
So-
name.
Okay.
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 That
You surprised
concludes
me. You
We
it
got
got
some-
difficult at the end.
We got some mix of answers in there.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
valid.
Jason
Ema-
Ema Glazer.
Exactly. I feel like it was
Yeah.
it
Been
was a
known.
topical choice.
Been known.
Jay's
All
favorite team
right.
is Ema and Simple. Just the two of them.
There's nothing
Now-
wrong with that.
Let's head into the last real segment. We're gonna do a little trivia.
Ooh.
So this trivia, I
I'm
got
getting
2
washed.
questions. I got 2 questions. They're both going to be based on 2024 stats, and
Okay.
it's a top 15 list. Okay.
Okay.
So the first list, I'm going to get you guys to name the top 15 players with the highest opening kill attempt percentage. And the filters I used were LAN events in 2024 with the top 20 filter. And I said a minimum of 50 maps because there were a few
A minimum of
outliers.
50.
Okay.
All right.
I hate
So we're gonna
this.
go in order of Jay, John, Josh. You each are gonna get 1 point for each correct answer. If you get 3 wrong, you get 3 strikes. You're out. You can't answer anymore.
Oh god.
Oh
So
my.
Jesus
highest,
Christ.
So are these
highest
team?
opening kill attempt percentage.
Attempt.
Their teams are on top.
So
like,
so
their
it's not
top
their
15
success rate,
teams?
it's just their attempts.
But
It's
this is
just
top 15
attempt.
teams, correct?
It's top
No,
20
top-
filter.
Okay, top 20 filter. Can I open?
So
up
it's
a list of
performances
teams?
against top 20
Jeez.
teams.
Can I open up a list
Something
of
like
teams?
that. I still don't know how the filter works.
Fuck. Okay. You're gonna tell me when I get one wrong, yeah?
I'm gonna tell you right or wrong. There's
Okay.
15 guys here.
Donk.
Donk is number 3, 28.4%.
Hold on. You can't take my list. This is my
What?
list, right?
No. We're gonna
Oh.
go
It's
one by one.
1 to 3. Yeah.
I hate this. Okay, I got it.
I already said you each get
Yeah,
to
I
go
got
in
it.
order.
Okay.
Yeah.
Monacy is not on the list.
Really?
Ooh.
Seriously.
Wow.
So that's a strike for you, J-Dog. Josh.
Okay, let's go Saiwu.
Saiwu, not on the list.
Why are we taking the
Fuck.
freebies?
feel like you guys are overthinking
It's not even
this.
freebies. I'm thinking Oppers. Oppers.
Yakinder.
Kinder, number 1 answer, 31%.
What are we
Yeah,
doing?
that's obvious. Yeah.
31%. Insane.
Nico?
Nico,
He should be there.
number 13.
He should be
Oof.
there. That's kind of close.
24.2%.
I don't know, bro.
Think of entries, hardest entries you can
Yeah,
think of.
that's. I was thinking Oppers just for like early picks. I guess it is entries.
We were talking about a few of them already.
Yeah.
I have a freebie.
I don't know if this is worth saying, but let's go JL.
JL, he does not make the list.
Kerrigan.
Kerrigan, number
You
6.
stole my answer, you son.
26.2%.
Xertion?
Xertion, number 2.
Number
28.6%.
2. I wouldn't expect it to. Okay.
It's a hard entry right there.
I think I have a
Josh?
good one now. Let's go Bit.
Bit?
Yes, I think he's high
Incorrect.
there. Open. No way.
brother. No,
Alexi.
brother.
Alexi
No,
B.
I think he has a good opening. No.
No,
Alexi
That
B.
boy lurker. That boy lurks. Alexi B, not here.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm out. JJ.
Honestly, Josh, no, just keep going. Honestly, fuck the lives. Just keep going.
Wait. We
Oh.
gotta make it known though he lost. Okay, so Josh is
I lost.
but
I
keep
lost.
it
I'll
going.
take
Keep
the
the
L. I'll
order
take
going.
the L. Yeah.
Flames?
Flames, number 7.
Nice.
25.8.
Okay, since I lost, let me take a look at players overall. Okay.
Oh, I
actually,
got.
just let me-
Okay.
Let me take a look at the teams.
Highest opening kill attempt percentage.
This one's weird.
Who is
but-
going for the most amount of opening kills? Out of
Like,
the
what are
five?
the odds one team has 2 guys on that list?
Probably pretty high.
Right? Because I have another name, but like,
Yeah.
So I have to think of a shit player, right? Like sort of, but a
No.
good player at the same time.
No.
Depends, bro. Think of entries.
like his Donk.
Jay, it's you're up, brother.
Am I up? Josh didn't go.
Josh, guess one.
Oh, sorry.
I cannot think of a player. Just go, Jay.
All right, you're out anyways.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm leaning between Ema.
Ema, number 14, 24%.
Did I not say Ima?
No, you said
You
Bit.
said JL and Bit.
Oh,
You said jail and Bay.
You got rid of half a Navi for me. I just picked the other 2.
okay.
Rain?
Rain is
Shouldn't
not
be there.
here.
Is that 3
Is that
lives
your
for Sin
third strike?
too?
No, that's only 2.
That's 2. I'm at 1. Okay. Josh, you going or should I go?
Wait, who did we say from Vitality?
Nobody.
Flamesy and
Oh,
then
we
some
did say
silver.
Flames.
And Zaiwu, I guess, but Zaiwu's not on it.
Okay, let's go. Let's go Messi, bro.
Mezzi is not here.
Yeah.
What about
I don't
Chopper?
think anyone else from Vitality is going to be there.
Yeah,
Oh, you
not-
stole
What's the
mine.
guess?
Chopper.
You said Chopper.
Chopper is incorrect.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Donk's taken up 28.5%. So
I guess, yeah.
Someone's got to go in if he dies first, or if he like wants to like do something.
he ain't dying. He ain't dying that much.
That's a good point.
Snacks?
Snacks, not here.
Nah, he wouldn't be.
Oh, but he was only half the year.
It is percentage, so it doesn't
It is
really matter.
percentage.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
and it's first
Gamer
top
Legion.
20 teams, but it was 50 Josh, you're up.
Minimum 50 maps. There's still
What
some
about
guys. who
what
I
about
feel
Virtus
you can
Pro?
get.
Okay, we haven't thought. who
Ooh,
from
okay.
Virtus Pro.
Okay, who are you thinking?
Who's the guy that I see going in always?
Honestly, a lot of them, but like
Yeah. Who's the best player? So after Electronic, like Fame, right? And then
I think I
there's
have a
Flit.
freebie, but I'm not sure.
I have one lined up.
Let's go Flit.
Flit is number 12. Bing, bing,
Nice.
bing.
Josh.
Finally.
24.2,
take,
tied with Nico.
Wait, didn't we say Nico wasn't on the list? You said that,
No,
no?
he's on the
sorry,
No,
list.
sorry,
Nico's
my
on
bad.
the list.
Oh, okay, yeah. What was I gonna say? It just escaped me. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Elige.
Oh,
Liege, number 8.
I'm taking
stole
all
that
your
from me.
answers.
Wow.
what spots? What
25.6.
spots are left?
All right, so you guys are missing number 4, number 5, number 9, 10, 11, and 15.
Whoa.
I think I know one more.
Okay, I'm ultimate.
Ultimate, number 11.
Wow.
I think I have number 4.
That's a good one, bro.
I think I have number
Yeah.
4.
Who is it?
Go, say it.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, not on the list.
What? Alexi's just getting all those opening deaths.
I guess we have to say Alexi B now. It's the
I
only
said
one
him
left.
You
already.
already guessed it. You already guessed it.
him.
Oh,
I thought, but I was like, Alexi, I was in between if he was opening that much, so I thought maybe it was 2 guys from Navi.
Okay, is there any clues, Spencer?
Okay, I can give you one. This player you're probably never gonna get. So he's from South America. That's one of them.
Okay.
Kisserado?
Not
No, Kisarado's a
Kisarado.
baiter.
Yeah, Baderado.
He gets
Another
openings, though.
player is an IGL. Another IGL for who IGL'd a top 3 team.
Oh my god,
the
we're
time.
so fucking dumb. Would Hooksy count?
Hooksie's number 9, 60
I didn't think he
maps.
would count
Oh, I said
because he wasn't on a team.
60 maps. He clears the threshold 25.1%.
Yeah.
We have another IGL actually from a different South American team. We have
Big
two South-
Uzera.
Big Uzera, number
That makes sense.
15.
Wow, yeah.
All right.
Then we have up and coming rifler, got their chance on a big team,
Mobs?
and just a goat, one of the goats.
Mobs?
Mob's number 10,
He played 50 land maps.
83.
Holy sh! I guess they won.
Yeah,
everything.
he did good
He
on
played a
M&D
few
too.
on M80, yeah,
Yeah.
and he was their entry.
What spots left? Don't give us a hint.
Is there
What
any?
spot?
Okay, is there any
Last
South American
spot?
players?
Yes.
Yeah, one more.
Number 5 is South American. Number 4, I can't give you his nationality because he'll give it away.
Okay, what about Cello?
Cello, number 5.
Yeah.
26.
Nationality will give it away.
Last guy, number 4.
Twists.
Nope. He's been a staple of the game for a long
Apex?
time now. Not Apex.
Staple.
His name is known. His name never had too much success in terms of winning.
It's not Zantares,
Tapson.
is it?
Zontar is number 4.
Ah, Zantares peak.
So the top 15
Oh, that would give it away, huh?
and highest
Yeah.
opening kill attempt percentage on LAN in 2024 is Yakinder, Zershin, Donk, Zontares, Cello, Kerrigan, Flames, Elige, Hooksy, Malbs, Ultimate, Flit, Nico, Ema, and Big Uzero.
Okay.
Dang.
Okay.
That was a
You guys
good
are
one.
pretty good. We got
was good. I
Jay,
feel like we
1,
did
2,
okay.
3, 4, 5.
I
I
definitely
don't know.
run
I'm
that
so
shit.
I'm so used to oppers being like really high on open.
There's just offers aren't opping. Like,
I guess.
you know?
Yeah,
And they're
at the
definitely not
beginning
going in first.
I started going by success instead of like.
I feel like the meta shifted to
all-out.
IGLs entering, so I was just like, I started
Yeah.
listing off
Yeah.
IGLs.
Yeah.
I think
Alright,
Jay
so
won that one by 1.
Yep.
You guys had a good thought
I
process.
thought I was gonna get
Alright.
smoked, so I felt good about it.
Next one. This one's a little harder, but again, just use your intuition. Highest rating in pistol rounds on LAN in 2024. Same filters, top 20 filter on with a minimum of 50 maps.
Oh my god.
Let's start with Josh this time.
Wait, go ahead. Say it again.
Highest rating in pistol rounds. Who are the best pistol round players in 2024 on LAN?
Let's go Nico.
Who wins a lot of pistols?
Nico, number 4. 1.34 in pistol rounds.
Who wins a lot of pistols?
Who's next? John?
Yeah, we'll go reverse order.
Yeah, we'll go reverse.
Okay.
John, you.
Okay, this is probably gonna be wrong, but NAF?
Naf is not on here, unfortunately.
Zaiwu.
Zaiwu, number 2, 1.40.
He's always getting 1v3s in that bitch.
He is.
Problem is
I
Liquid
don't-
loses too many pistols.
I don't know why. I don't think Dunk is. Maybe. Yeah, let's go Dunk. Whatever.
Donk is the number 1
Yeah.
rated player in pistol rounds. 1.43 on pistol.
Number 1 everything. God dang.
Good
Pistol
pistols.
players.
This is tough. This is a good.
Have we said Nico yet?
Yeah, he was
Oh,
second.
I think I have another one. I don't know why.
Give me Rops.
Oh,
Rops does not make it, my brother. Unfortunately.
Can I take Shazam from CS:GO? That guy was a pistol demon.
Bilal.
Give me. Ooh. What was the filter again? Pistol rating?
Pistol rounds,
It's
yeah.
rating and pistol rounds.
I have 2 guesses now.
Give me bit.
Bit number 9, 1.27.
Okay, give me.
Robot aim.
This might be rough, but give me rain.
Rain is not on the list.
Give me. We said JL.
No.
Give me
No
JL.
jail. Jail is number 14. He just
You're
squeaked
back.
one.
Sorry, was Rops on the list or not?
No.
He was not.
Think about all the comebacks. Comebacks start with pistol rounds. FaZe makes a lot of comebacks. Therefore, Frozen is on the list.
Frozen is number 5.
Really?
Oh,
1.32.
It's good
I
thinking,
didn't expect
boys.
Frozen to be good.
It's good
dude.
thinking, boys. He always
That
finds
put in the
his.
work.
Hmm.
Okay. Um. Let's go. Let's go for my South American friend here, Queserado.
Acerado is number 6 on the list. 1.31. Nice pull.
Thank you.
Elige?
Elige is number 12. 1.26.
He's on the list. Wow.
Shiro.
Shiro is number 3.
Shiro's on the
1.39. That baiter.
We're moving here, boys. He's always
we
in
said-
1v2s on fucking Anubis B
Y'all are
site.
clearing this. Y'all are actually clearing this. You got 7, 8, 9, or no, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, and 15 left.
Okay.
Have we said
There's still an easy one.
Mayonnaise?
There you go. Mine easy. Number 7, 1.3 rating.
I'm hesitant to take somebody whose teammate's already been on the list. It kind of sketches me out.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Like, you want teams that are good at pistols because if you win the
Yeah,
round, you tend to
That's
have a
why I
good
haven't said a
rating.
liquid player, but I think one of them's gonna.
Yeah,
end up.
that's the thing. Like, I know Nap's usually really. Liquid has horrible pistol rounds. this
Yes,
season.
that's the problem. I don't want
That's
to go
what screwed me
liquid.
there.
Um,
I think I'm gonna go the remaining. It's Ema. The remaining
Navi player. Well, it's
That's
the
a
Emo or
rough
Alexi.
one.
because Navi had the best pistol conversion rate of all teams.
You locking that in?
I'm gonna lock in Ema.
Ema is not on the list.
Oh, I'm cooked.
Jay?
You know what? Snacks. I feel like Snacks is always alive.
Snacks is not here.
I feel like Snacks
Damn.
is always alive.
But
amount of
always
times
alive
I've
doesn't
seen him
mean
call-
he's a good in
Nah,
pistol.
he calls himself to get dualies on Donut like way too much for him to
All
not be
the
on that
time.
list.
Okay, can you repeat the players that we have already?
Okay, we've guessed Donk, Zaiwu, Shiro, Nico, Frozen, Queserado, Monesi, Bit, Elige, JL, and that's it.
So we're missing 5.
You're missing
Dude, what about
8, 10, 11, 13, and 15.
what about Saiwu?
Okay.
Have we said Saiwu?
We said Zaiwu.
Yeah.
You said
Okay. What about Flames?
Flames is not here.
Okay.
Oh, we're missing a freebie.
Give me Zershin.
That's
Zershin, not here either.
okay. Give me Yimfat.
Infat, not here.
Not there. No, way.
I guess Mao's sucked at pistols this year. Jeez.
Okay,
There's
I
no
think we're
way
in
there-
the.
Are you in hint territory?
Yeah, we're in hint territory.
No, we're not. Hold on. We're not. We're
Yeah,
not.
give
in
us one more
territory.
round, then we'll do hints.
One more round. If
Yeah.
I lose this, I already lost now.
I think I've already lost. So
I'm
who
pretty sure I
cares?
won again, guys. I'm not gonna. That was my. I'm only on 2.
Electronic.
No, sir.
You're not even trying.
Joda. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh, but.
Oh, yes, bro.
But-
Give me Nerds.
Ah,
Xantares.
yes.
We already said
Xantares.
Xantares.
There's
Okay,
not
so
here.
it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Then. Say
No,
it.
he's
I
not
didn't know.
here.
I
He's
know.
not
He said.
here.
I
He's
didn't know
on
he
the
said
other
it. I didn't
list.
know he said it. I didn't know he said
We
it.
didn't
though.
say him. We
Didn't I
didn't
say it
him.
earlier? Oh,
I
maybe
think
missed.
John said it.
No, he was on the other
Okay.
list.
Cool territory then.
Okay, we can go ahead.
Hint?
Yeah.
I don't know how you haven't got this guy. He's really good with the deagle.
Mobs.
Mobs, number 10.
Bro,
1.26.
Mondesi, Nico, and Mobs are on the list. That's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Honestly, Nico Mobs 4, 7, and 10.
I think they win a
Jeez.
major, bro.
To be fair, Mobs played half his year on M80, so half of those
That's
stats
true,
are
it's just
invalid.
inflated.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
All right, another guy. You have a guy on a roster that didn't do anything, and they're sitting comfortably in the top 10. You have a guy who just got swapped to a new roster. You
Sampai's.
have no close though. You have another Opper who is number 15 on this list. And you have an Opper who
Oh, I got one for sure.
you got two Oppers.
No way. No
I have
way.
not.
Very
I
different
think I have
Oppers.
number 50. One of the
Brokey?
Oppers.
Rookie's not here.
It's wonderful.
Well, I was gonna
This
say
Navi
wonderful.
has
Wonderful.
fantastic pistols.
Yeah.
Wonderful's number 15.
There's another
1.23.
Opper.
There's another Opper. You guys have to think.
Device.
No, he's not.
What?
He's not in that
Torsi?
tier.
Have you said
No,
Torsi?
not even in Torzy tier.
Dexter?
I don't even think he's in Dexter tier, bro.
So is
Jeez.
that worse or better?
Worse.
Why is he on this list?
Jane?
Not James.
No, James has had a dog shit
Top
everything.
15.
Cadian?
No, against top. No, not. He's not top 15. He's against top 15 players, right?
Top 20.
Against
top
top 20
sorry.
players.
He's definitely played the whole year against top 20 players. He's just,
Alzerk?
Wait,
Halzer.
no way.
Oh my
Halzer.
god.
this guy has a 1.29 in pistol and 100 maps on pistol round.
You know what?
That's
I was
pretty good.
thinking like. Nah, yeah, whatever. Okay.
So him and Elise are on here.
I don't know why I
Mhm.
had Grim in my head, not Halzer, but I didn't want to say because it was stupid.
Okay, this player just got moved to a fake team, let's say.
Okay, Tessus.
This
Tessus?
is number
Yeah.
13, 1.22, tied with JL and Wonderful.
He killed it a fake team, and I was like, oh,
Okay,
Tessus.
who
The
which
last
numbers are we
player,
missing? Okay,
you're only
last.
missing 11. This guy, his team made no moves.
So it's
they're
someone on
sitting pretty.
Mouse. It's not Shuhei. We
Okay, I
said
think I have a
Session.
guess.
Not an international team.
Yeah, I think I have a guess.
Okay, go.
Zontix?
Not Zontix.
Is it from the Mongols?
It is from the Mongols.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. So let's just go one by
I didn't
one.
think that- Okay.
Let's
That's
go
important.
9-10.
X.
I feel like it's
Whoa.
easy at this
Senzu.
point.
Senzu,
No,
Senzu.
yeah.
There you go.
I was gonna go Tech.
Oh.
Senzu.
I was gonna go
number
Masillo.
11. You're gonna go brick after brick. All right, so Dunk a 1.43, Zaiwu a 1.4, Shira 1.39, Nico 1.34, Frozen 1.32, Caserado 1.31, Monesi 1.3, Halzerk 1.29, Bit 1.27, and then all these guys have a 1.26, Malbs, Senzu, and Elige, and then all these guys have a 1.22, Tessis, JL, and Wonderful. And that wraps up the top 15 pistol round players on LAN in
Wow.
2024.
Holy.
Holy indeed.
That was a good one. You guys were pretty clear on that.
Do I get a
one as
crown?
well.
Because I feel like I won both those.
Yeah, we'll give Jay the crown for this episode.
I don't think you
Jay-
won
Jay
this
gets
one.
the crown.
I did. Sinful had 2 out before we even started,
Yeah, dude, I got cooked on trivia.
and then you started just spewing names.
No, but in the second one, the pistol one,
I think
did
you
pretty
said.
well at
I
the
think you said
start.
cello at one point.
So Josh got 1, 2, 3,
On the first one or
4.
second one?
No, he said
Second one.
cello on the
Yeah, the
intro.
second one.
That was
Go to the
correct.
second one. How many did I get?
Second one you got 4.
No, but the thing is, Jay and I said the same names at the same time.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, true.
Okay,
crown is
you
heavy.
tied that one, and Jaden won the first one, so he can take the crown for
The
this.
crown
We
is
can
still
share, we
heavy.
can
Many
share
more.
the second one. We can share the second one. I agree.
There'll be many more trivias to come, so you can brush up on your knowledge, and we'll get back in the lab.
Heard that? Heard that?
Perfect. Perfect.
All right, so with that being said, little final segment. We're planning on doing a matchup prediction for the Blast Bounty first stage. So just predicting who's gonna pick who for which bounty matchups, which I think will be pretty fun. So we'll probably release that a little later on this week, hopefully before the tournament actually starts. That would
Yeah.
serve its purpose. Um, And yeah, other than that, we got a Jeopardy ready to go as well. So we'll maybe see that in a few weeks or
I
so.
like that. You're ready to go. You're locked in.
We're pushing out this content, man.
Kinda
He has all the
clicking.
content locked
We're
up.
here, bro.
I
We're
like
here,
that.
bro. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode, guys. Do you have anything else to say?
No, that's it. I just think leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. And that's pretty much it. If you did watch, thank you for watching, and I think that's all we got for this one, yeah?
Yeah, leave some constructive criticism in the comments if you have any.
Or if you have none, let us know that too. That'd be cool. That'd be cool to hear. Alrighty, we're out.
All right.
Peace.